when the light of the morning illuminates the room. I can see your face, my darling, and I don't wanna move, 'cause you make me feel like I'm someone you will hold on for a long time. And I never, never, never wanna let you go till you're mine. You take me home where I belong. It's been a long time coming, but now I'm home. I'm safe inside your harbor when the storm rages on, and I can jump into the waters with you. I'm calm, 'cause you make me feel like I'm someone you will hold on for a long time. And I never, never, never wanna let you go till you're mine. You take me home where I belong. It's been a long time coming, but now I'm You take me home where I belong. It's been a long time coming, but now I'm home. Make it look, make it look, make it look easy. Come on, won't you make it look, make it look, make it look easy. Make it look easy. Make it look easy. We could go to the plaza or anywhere that we wanna. Live it up for the drama. Make it hot, make it lava. We've been here all day, swimming in the finer things. Just start me a taste. Won't you be my diamond ring? I love the way you make it look, make it look, make it look easy. Come on, won't you make it look, make it look, make it look easy. Make it look easy. Make it look. 1, 2, 3, come with me. We can make it look easy. 1, 2, 3, count on me. We can make it look easy. 1, 2, 3, come with me. We can make it look easy. 1, 2, 3, count on me. We can make it look easy. Make it look easy. Make it look easy.
Yeah. Started out with a dream. Now look at us. What's a vision if you ain't turning that vision to reality? All you haters can stay mad at me. From a kid to a man, from a man to a star. Bike to a minivan to a supercar. Lights, let me see those hands, show me who you are. Dice, watch him land, go and cop a new car. High stakes, heavyweight shit, came up from the bottom. Only flex flows if you got him. Problems came and forgot him. I'm on that stress-free shit. If I believe, then I can be it. And I aim to be a star. It don't matter who you are or where you come from. Had them wanting more after one song. Every morning I wake up and I'm on some. Put the beat on repeat and get the rhymes done. Started out fun, now it's my life. Married to the game, made rapping my wife. To have and to hold, through sickness and death. At least I'm at the point I can write my own checks. Hit the Royal Rumble, now I'm last man standing. Hard to stay humble when the punches keep landing. 1, 2, uppercut, hook. Learn from the best, can't do it by the book. I was born with the flow, guess it's in my genes. Material raw, but my rhymes stay clean. I don't sip lean, but I smoke a little green. Win some, lose some, stay true to the dream. From a kid to a man to a star. Bike to a minivan to a supercar. Lights, let me see those hands, show me who you are. Dice, watch him land, go and cop a new car. High stakes, heavyweight shit, came up from the bottom. Only flex flows if you got him. Problems came and forgot him. I'm on that stress-free shit. If I believe, then I can be it.
Yeah, I took my time and it paid off well. Rose back up when I fell. Yeah, got defeated, made me stronger. Cause I need it, I can't wait longer.
Yeah, time is up, clock's been ticking, it's crunch time. Walking the tightrope, but it's a long line. Gotta keep my balance, takes more than talent. If you drink by the liter, gotta sell by the gallon. From a kid to a man to a star. Bike to a minivan to a supercar. Lights, let me see those hands, show me who you are. Dice, watch him land, go and cop a new car. High stakes, heavyweight shit, came up from the bottom. Only flex flows if you got him. Problems came and forgot him. I'm on that stress.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another day of the KDL. I'm State. Joined with me is Peter, and today we've got some fantastic action, lined up for you. 2 team matches, and today in the solos, we are sending 4 players to the finals. We're getting closer and closer to the postseason. It's been a fantastic preseason so far, and yeah, I cannot be more excited to get started. How you feeling?
I am feeling also super excited today, State, because now, as you said, we are super close to that postseason. So it's really important for teams like Aura to start finalizing more points in their bag so that they can make it to the top 4. And as you said in the solo match as well, we're having the 4 top players move on, which is going to be exciting because it's going to be really competitive.
Yeah, and of course, being the round of 16 winners match today for solos, it's going to be a very stacked lobby as well as we look right now at the team match overview. We're about a week out, I think. In fact, actually exactly a week from the beginning of the postseason, where the top 4 players from the round-robin stage will advance to the playoffs and compete for that 40 million Korean won first-place grand prize, just shy of 40,000 US dollars. Right now, it feels like top 3 pro teams, Seongnam Rocks, Live Sandbox, Kwangdong Freaks, all on a path there as we take a look here at the standings. And I want to note very quickly that there were 2 penalties over the past week. Kwangdong Freaks, their coach got a little bit heated. There was a penalty given out for that, as well as, I believe it was
ShowTime.
ShowTime had 1 more point docked. And that's not like getting a loss overall, it's just 1 round point being deducted. So instead of plus 10 for the Freaks, it's plus 9. Very minor, but it might have an effect on their standings overall. You know, it was very close between them and Live Sandbox. They have played 1 less match, but, you know, Seongnam Rocks, LSB, KDF, they're all going to the postseason. Sensation, I feel like, if I had to put odds on it, I would say 80% chance of them making it to the playoffs right now. Or there still is hope. They have to win today. They're going to have to win their next team match as well. And they're going to need Sensation to lose some maps too, because Sensation right now, their round differential is crazy good.
Absolutely. Aura is praying for the stars to line up for them here, but today we're featuring matchups between Seraphic and ShowTime, which doesn't really affect any post-season results, but they're looking to get at least a win in their bag. And then for Potential and Aura, as we talked about, Aura really needs to win today in order to try to stay competitive against Sensation. And then finally, the solo match is going to be super exciting. We're here in the round of 16 winners match, and the players are super stacked.
Yeah, this could basically just be the finals right here. The lobby that we have. We have first place and second place from last season.
Yep.
You know, Cool and NEAL are both here. World as well is here. He's looking great. DDING is looking fantastic. Luning, Hero, Spear, JiMin. It just doesn't get much better than this. It's an absolutely stacked lobby. And as you said, Aura, they're basically fighting for their tournament life here today against Potential, as they need to keep adding up the wins if they want to be able to close the distance between themselves and Sensation. But before we get into that match, starting off today, it's going to be Seraphic versus ShowTime. 2 teams right now at the bottom of our standings. ShowTime right now 1-5 overall. Seraphic 0-5 overalls. Really, this is more of a pride match for both these teams. You know, mathematically, they're out of postseason contention, but they would love to finish beyond last place, right? So for Seraphic right now, you see the 5-man roster on stage. They've got a lot of potential, you could tell. I mean, even getting here to the KDL and competing with these pro teams is a feat in and of itself, but as of yet, unable to deliver the performance that their fans were hoping for them.
Yeah, Seraphic definitely wants to try to show up today against ShowTime, which we could definitely say has had a better result so far this season, actually being able to win a match off of Kwangdong Freaks, and now they're looking to win their first set in speed against their opponent Seraphic today, because both teams, they're still unable to find that first win here.
Yeah, overall in sets and speed, both of these teams have been basically at the bottom of the rung. And when you can't win in speed, it's just so much more pressure on your team to make something happen in item mode and an ace, and it really diminishes your odds of winning any matches. That's a key part of why both these teams are kind of closer towards the bottom of the standings. But to touch on that really quick, so Seraphic, not only have they not won any sets against any teams in speed, they have yet to win a track so far here in the KDL preseason, which is absolutely phenomenal in like the most twisted kind of way. You know, it's like a 15-round L streak in speed matches is just wow.
Yeah, I was like, phenomenal? Is that the right word there, Stave? But I see where you're taking that one.
I mean, you can feel at times, sometimes it feels as though they're getting things going together, but the team play just hasn't been there. Occasionally you'll see, you know, Minshik or Amari really start to run away with it and get closer to the top of the standings, but then not have a lot of support. So,
This
the
is
bottom,
weird.
Yeah, it is a little bit weird. Seraphic here cheering on ShowTime a little bit as they're saying they're going to go 1-6. ShowTime right now 1-5. So Seraphic saying they're going to win this match today, but very timid here with the trash talk, considering these are two of the lowest ranking teams we have right now in the league. But ShowTime, if they can win this one here against Seraphic, then suddenly they're going to finish 2-5 in the round robin stage. This is their last team match overall here in preseason 2, and that might put them ahead of potential, put them into 6th place as opposed to 7th or 8th.
Yeah, and ShowTime, they're looking great so far. They've had 3 back-to-back ace matches in the league as of recent, and it was Ghost winning one of them against World. So hopefully ShowTime, if they end up going to that 4th ace match back-to-back today, they're able to find some success in that star-studded player Ghost.
One team will take a victory in speed match today. Indeed, that is the way it goes. We will have a victor in speed mode between one of these two teams. They will no longer be winless here in KDL Preseason 2, so that's exciting. And you got to give the edge here to ShowTime in particular because Ghost, as you said, is such a stud, at least on this team. I mean, he's the top racer here in this match by far, I would say. Is he seems to have a lot of potential right now, ranking about halfway through the standings, I think 15th out of 33rd here as we look at the speed track list. ShowTime here with speed priority, going to be picking 3 out of 5 tracks as they choose World Tour New York Rally for map number 1. That will be followed by Glacier Extreme Stadium, World Tour Terracotta Twister, Zigzag Timberland, and Winding Slopes. Wow, some difficult tracks. Round 2 through round 5. That's exciting.
Just as you said, usually these tracks get banned out by the amateur teams, but now that they're kind of facing against an opponent where they feel they're more evenly matched in terms of skill, we can see them now actually opting to pick those tracks instead. We're seeing Factory Facility 5 and WKC Japan Circuit getting banned out by ShowTime there. It's very surprising to see a track like Japan Circuit get banned out.
Yeah, it is surprising, but I'm more surprised by the picks just because, this entire season, especially against the pro teams, as you said, out of fear of being outclassed, these rookie teams have been very timid and shying away from those tracks, but we will see them later on in this series as we're getting ready to start KDL today. Seraphic versus ShowTime in the first match, World Tour New York Rally.
We begin our first speed match of the day. Currently, it's Ghost in the lead for ShowTime. Minshik actually now saying, nope, get out of my way. We're coming in with a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, Minshik and Scarlet off to a great start here for Seraphic. Minshik, of course, the speed ace here for Seraphic. Would love to have a good performance here in one of their final matches of the preseason, but Ghost, he's so quick. You see him taking this really ambitious line. Just barely shy of getting past Scarlet there as he would love to pass Minshik here and get in first place.
I love how Ghost always looks for these perfect lines. This time he did get blocked up by Minshik, but it didn't work out. But however, there's still 2-3 right now for ShowTime. If they can have FaZe catch up to the middle of the pack, it's going to be really good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And for both of these teams, it feels like it's been the lollygaggers closer to the bottom of each lobby that have been really weighing them down here in speed mode, as Ghost in particular here for ShowTime has been their most consistent player by far, above average here in the league, which says a lot considering he's gotten minimal support in terms of team play from his allies here on ShowTime. And right now, winning a 1v2 basically here against Seraphic as he holds on to first place. Minshik and Promise, they would love to try and pass him, and they will be able to find that angle as Ghost trying to do a little bit of body blocking there on Promise.
Yeah, Ghost is really on the edge right now with these lines, but he's making them work because he's taking the risk, but he's only getting the reward. Now it's Flair trying to catch up. However, FaZe and Monster, they are pretty far behind.
And if ShowTime, they want to win this track, it's going to have to come down to Ghost getting first place and also them reinforcing in the mid-ranks a little bit here, as on this straightaway, Ghost just seems like he might not have enough speed to pass Minshik, and it's actually going to be a 1-2 win here for Seraphic. So getting on the board first here is Seraphic with their first round win in speed of KDL Preseason 2. Better late than never.
Yeah.
Well done.
We were just saying how they never won even a single round, but they're like, well, we're just going to do it
we just got to talk about it. The caster jinx, the curse is real.
Yeah.
But in this case for them, it's a boon, it's a bounty. That's Seraphic, Minshik, and Promise coming with a high place 1 and 2.
Right.
Minshik and Promise, fantastic delivery there on the win. And Ghost, it was a valiant effort going for that basically 1v2 for the latter half of that track, but was unable to come through with the first place, and Seraphic now up 1-0 here in speed mode.
And I think it's important to note here that although it was Minchik and Promise coming in for the 1-2 punch, it wasn't really a win condition just off that 1-2. Their other two players also won against the members of ShowTime here, which is showing that they have some good team chemistry today.
Yeah, definitely looking a lot better as Seraphic, and we'll see if they can keep that up here as we move to one of the more difficult tracks as the tracks get more and more challenging here. Number 2, it will be raced on Glacier Extreme Stadium. Let's see if Seraphic can get another one on the board here as they finally have gotten that first round win. And I mean, for a rookie team like this coming into KDL Preseason 2, you know, it's not the regular season, you don't have too much on the line. Oh wow, ShowTime.
Yeah.
I mean, the starts don't get too much better than this, but you know, for Seraphic, if they can come through, and even if they lose this track, come through with a round win overall, or a set win, I should say, here against ShowTime, it would be such a confidence booster for this team, who have been looking solid in item mode, but really have yet to put it together here in speed.
Scarlet is taking a lot of collisions right now early on in the track, and especially in the earliest phase, he actually collided into his own team off that, which is why the backline right now, Mari and Promise, they are pretty far behind. We're seeing now Promise trying to catch up. The 1-2 is here for ShowTime currently by Ghost, and Flare not giving any room for Scarlet. However, he makes the room happen in Scarlet.
Yeah, the inner line, Scarlet and Minchik both find it there as Flare went a little bit wide, and now it's Ghost once again in a 1v2 here at the top ranks. Seraphic off to a great start. Flare doing a little bit of sweeping there, but unable to make a meaningful connection with his opponent on Seraphic, and now Ghost. Once again, the onus is on him for ShowTime to get first place here. He has to beat Scarlet in the remainder of this track because right now, Flare, Monster, FaZe are sitting at positions 5, 7, and 8. They need a lot of points from that top rank.
Scarlet winning the line check against Flare has bought so much space right now. You look at Seraphic, they're 1-3-4-6. They're absolutely winning in the midfield. Monster and FaZe nowhere in sight at the moment, and this is the final lap. So Seraphic, they just need to hold on to their positions.
Yeah, coming into the hairpin turns though, Ghost able to get a nice start here. Actually able to create some distance between him and Scarlet with these really tight lines on the hairpins. 500 meters now away from the finish line, but even if Ghost gets first place, will it be enough? We might need FaZe or Monster to close the distance, and actually Minchik able to pass Ghost here on this straightaway. So with 1-3-4 Seraphic, double their total round wins in speed here for KDL Preseason 2 as they got some momentum going.
Seraphic is definitely coming in hot today, saying they want to be the team to not only take the wins in rounds, but also the set for speed. And Scarlet there, he took so many collisions throughout the whole entire track, but even then, his team was able to come in and win. So it really just shows how behind ShowTime as a team was here. Ghost, he didn't have the support he needed.
Yeah, and Minchik really stepping up here for Seraphic in both track 1 and track 2 as he is the speed ace on this team, but overall in the standings, he's 31st out of 33 racers for team speed, so he hasn't been able to deliver. Happy to see him doing it now, though.
Yeah, Minchik last time, he was the ace match representative against Sungnam Rocks, and he had a really close nail-biting match against Jung. He lost by a hair, so I'm sure that off of that, he learned some through his mistakes, and now he's back on top form today.
Absolutely looks like it is. Seraphic now run one round win away from sweeping ShowTime here in speed mode as we get ready to move to round number 3. Let's see if Seraphic can bring it home and get their first set win in speed of the preseason as we move to round 3, World Tour Terracotta Twister.
We move into match point for Seraphic in the track chosen by ShowTime. As we take a look at the standings, it's Ghost and FaZe leading with the 1-2. But Seraphic, they're no stranger to the rankings. They're catching right back up.
Yeah, and Minchik once again is the lead racer here for Seraphic as he's already battling with Ghost to take that number 2 spot coming into the inner tomb here in a second. We'll see if he's able to hold on to it. Wow, oh my goodness, what a nice block there on Ghost. Ghost actually falling all the way down into 4th place. Behind Promise there for a moment as he's trying to close the distance, but once again the body blocks by Minchik. Man, Minchik is racing out of his mind today, coming into the tomb area, still in first place. We'll see how these players decide to navigate and how greedy a line they're going to take here through on lap number 1. It seems like everyone a little bit conservative here, do not want to risk it all.
Yeah, a lot of collisions were happening here back and forth between the players, but so far no player has been set back magnificently. Right now it's FaZe Ghost player in the 2-3-4. You can see Monster is really far behind, so it's crucial for ShowTime to keep up this 1-3-4.
Yeah, and for Minchik, it's now him who's feeling the pressure to maintain position 1, as ShowTime's midfield is so much stronger than it was both on track number 1 and track number 2, holding on a 1-3-4 overall. And it's actually FaZe, the lead racer here for ShowTime, who's going to be trying to lock Minchik out a little bit, but really if ShowTime could just consolidate here at the top ranks, they're going to be feeling so good.
Here's my take right now, State. I feel like Seraphic, they have a chance to catch up really easily, especially once we get into that tomb section, because the ranks are going to fluctuate. The main problem right now for ShowTime is that Monster is really far behind, so FaZe and Ghost, they cannot falter. They need to keep up this 1-2.
Absolutely, as Minchik's trying his best to create problems. Actually,
FaZe
almost knocked Ghost off there, and that's going to lead Minchik to taking first place here, coming down into the finish line, 500 meters away, but FaZe a little bit ahead on that boost case. Minchik, will he have enough nitro in the back to be able to pass him here on this straightaway? I think Seraphic's got this one, man. It's going to be a sweep. Minchik and Scarlet with another 1-2. And Seraphic coming into today with 0-round wins in team speed. They win 3-0. You can see them all smiles right now on stage. This is a fantastic moment for this rookie team. I mean, when you get on stage, you're competing like this, it's so easy to fall into a mental block and be hard on yourself when you can't deliver a win. I mean, going 0-15, a 15-round lose streak, absolutely brutal, but Seraphic showing up here in team speed. Fantastic teamwork. Minchik, the speed ace, especially racing out of his mind. I feel like he was the lead racer for Seraphic every single track, as they 3-0 here in speed.
Yeah, I mean, this is an incredible way to end off the speed here for Seraphic here against ShowTime. They still do have one more team match after this, but for ShowTime, this is their final opponent, right?
Yeah.
So now we're moving on into item mode, where we're going to see Snoopy coming in for Seraphic, and if Snoopy can deliver as the item ace, they could look at finishing off 2-0 for the first time in Preseason 2.
That's possible. Mari, the runner on Seraphic, will be swapped out. On ShowTime side of things, probably going to see Fraun swapped in, as, yep, Speed Ace Ghost will be sitting on the sidelines here as we switch over into item mode. Specialists coming off the bench.
Yep, I feel like ShowTime, they were able to find a lot of success in their item modes off their item ace Fraun, so it's going to be a lot of pressure right now for Seraphic to try their best to not get into the ace match. But if we end up going to ace match, it'll be really exciting to see which players come out.
Of course, ShowTime with speed priority here is only going to be able to pick 2 out of the 5 tracks. Seraphic getting the first round pick will go with Sphinx's Riddle, followed by Magma Cavern, Glacier Shark's Wake, Desert Pharaoh's Pass, and Mine Motherlode. So both mine tracks here will be played should we go all the way to round 5. And, you know, just to touch really quickly on the records here for both these teams, is they have struggled in team speed, as we talked about already. You know, they haven't really been able to win a set against any team so far here in KDL Preseason. But item mode, an entirely different story. Both teams, you know, sitting right around 50% overall win rate. Very respectable, especially considering the big shakeup that we had here in the meta KDL Preseason 2. So potentially evenly matched here coming into item mode as we get ready to kick things off. Man, we are speeding along here as we go into round number 1 on Desert Sphinx's Riddle. And Seraphic now, after a 3-0 sweep in speed mode, would love to get the ball rolling here in item.
Yep, this is a 3-lapper track as we see, and we're seeing a lot of water bombs to begin, but there's no shields, and Angel Scarlet manages to pick up 1. So we're going to see a lot of players just getting set back right now.
It's actually a ton of water balloons total on the field. We might have seen like 7 or 8. It's absolutely crazy. That one will connect with Flare. In fact, actually getting 3 members of ShowTime. So, you know, usually water balloons, they're not too impactful, but that one actually taking a lot of the wind out of the sails here of ShowTime's players here in the mid-ranks. Is Flare the lone racer here in the front line. Along with Minchik and Scarlet, he will get water wisp, so slow down here. And you know, the first big team play item coming out, it will be an Angel Shield here for Minchik. Would not be surprised to see him hold on to that one throughout pretty much the rest of this lobby.
Yeah, we saw Monster going for an aggressive line block there, which is why he's able to maintain that first place lead right now. And so far, no lightnings on the board. We've seen a great usage of triple lightning here in Sphinx's Riddle before. Seems like that's not going to be happening today. It's going to be more a fight about magnets and positions.
Yeah, at least for now. Well, I mean, we say that, and then Thrawn, the item ace here for ShowTime, picks up a lightning bolt. So that's the first one on the field. And those lightnings can be so game-changing, especially if you're able to chain them up and get 2 or maybe even 3 heading into a finish line. So ShowTime will certainly be looking to find more of those if they can. And right now, you know, ShowTime, they're mostly holding on to the top positions here, but really it's the items that are telling the stories. Actually, we have 2 more lightning bolts coming out. Seraphic actually picking up both of them, so
You look at Minsik just swapping
he's
through
excited.
them. He's getting trigger happy right now, getting ready to send the clouds out, but you can see Monster, he's trying to lead the pack with a shield and a nitrous. He's looking to absorb some aggro there, and he's just going to be able to use a nitrous to catch back up.
And for Minshik, I mean, you're just going to be holding on to this Angel Shield and Thunderbolt all the way through to the end of the race because they're such essential team play items. And okay, actually the first lightning coming out right now, that's going to connect here on Seraphic.
But Seraphic, they're still holding on to their 2 lightnings as well as an angel. So
yeah,
in the final moments, we're going to see those clouds start to appear above the head of ShowTime.
No angels on the field for ShowTime as they get completely shut down here on that ramp. I mean, the UFO will connect with Promise. I don't think there's going to be enough speed for the ShowTime players, though, to actually close the distances. Although it was a 2, 3, 4, 5 here for ShowTime. The Lightning's just too strong. Promise able to get away with it, even with the UFO abducting him.
Yeah.
All right.
Seraphic having such a good day here of KDL right now, kind of just making up for their lack of wins because they're right now 4-0 in rounds.
This is their best day here in KDL by far so far. Is they would love to keep this momentum going, man. You know, at the end of the day, if they keep this thing up, they might be finishing ahead of ShowTime overall in the standings, right?
It's possible. I mean, they're both going to be no, yeah, because it's going to be 1-5 for Seraphic, and ShowTime's going to go down to 1-6 if they lose. So Seraphic definitely will be getting a nice win for their ego here.
Yeah, +4 round differential already as well for the first 4 tracks that we had played so far, as Seraphic seem to have really come to the stage with a lot of confidence here today, ready to play.
Yeah, right now it seems like we are going to be moving on to the choice of track from ShowTime for our second round. So hopefully they're able to finally win a round of their own here as we get ready to move on into track Mine Magma Cavern. Off we go in item round number 2. It seems like it's going to be another 3-lapper track. We're seeing a lot of missiles getting cycled out.
Yeah, Mine Magma Cavern. I feel like every single time this track comes up, I always talk about how much I love it, but it really is so much fun with the lava.
Yeah.
I mean, you've casted with me like, what, 2 or 3 days in a row now, so.
Yeah. I do remember you saying that.
I know, but I love it so much. I hope we get some cool rockets coming in, like this one on Snoopy, because, you know, you can't really control your cart once you get hit by those. You know, because it's replaced with the balloons by this, by the banana effect, right? You just kind of spin out. So on corners, you can, if you're lucky and your opponent doesn't have a shield, force them all the way into the lava and really take a lot of momentum away from your opposing racers here. Is finishing lap number 2. Not a lot of team play items in total on the field. Just a lot of shields, a couple of magnets over there in the back rank, as we see those actually get traded out as these lower-ranking players, they would like to work their way up here to the midfield to absorb a little bit more of the aggro, but no angels, no lightnings overall.
Yeah, right now Monster, he does have a pretty monstrous lead for himself. That's why we're seeing Snoopy trying to catch up by utilizing the shield. Now he's going to be able to use the Water Wisp. However, an excellent shield by Monster. He's going to be able to buy more time staying in the lead.
And now Flare picking up the first angel shield here of the track. For Team ShowTime, going to be very happy to hold on to that one, as we're already on lap number 3, and there really aren't a lot of team play items on the field as of yet. So, I mean, there is a lot of aggressive potential, actually, and, you know, we might have one of those more KDL Preseason 1-esque finishes where the focus is going to be on nitrous, on magnets, because the attacks coming out of these racers, the Thunderbolts just simply aren't there.
Finally, Monster's going to get slowed down by the UFO, so he's just going to baton pass over to FaZe, who's trying to stay in the lead, but now it's Snoopy trying to 1v3, go for a miracle play here, but he only has a shield and a water bomb. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Monster, he does get slowed down by the UFO, and he's going to be able to just speed right back. Monster still in the lead.
That water bomb just barely misses Monster there as he's able to ride this one, and ShowTime finally gets on the board after losing the first 4 tracks of this match. Down to 0-3 in speed, now tied up 1-1 here in item mode as it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, as you
would have
put
been stressful to go down 0-2 here against Seraphic. You know, ShowTime, they want to try and move up the rankings. A win here today might even get them ahead of potential overall and move them into 6th in the full league standings as opposed to falling to 8th should they lose here to Seraphic. So nice win there for Monster, for FaZe, for ShowTime as a squad. 2 track wins away now from trying to force an ace match.
Yeah, that item round at the end there, as you said, it was really just a fiasco of throwing UFOs and missiles and water whips at each other because it felt like that 500 meters in particular was really, really dragged out. It's probably because no one was able to find the nitrous and the magnet angle due to UFO kind of being the item to take away all momentum from that.
Yeah, inventories are pretty sparse here as we take a quick look at the finish line recap. And I saw this water balloon pop. I thought it was going to hit Monster, but actually a shield, and I think an angel shield resulted in him being able to dodge it. As you know, that ramp is one of the most exciting parts of Mind Magnet Cavern here in item mode because water balloons, you can't really evade them there except through shields. And we've had some teams set up wombo combos there in the past. That time was not able to happen for Seraphic, so ShowTime getting the win. All tied up 1-1 now as we move on to track number 3. It will be Glacier Shark's Wake. Both these teams now 2 track wins away from deciding the fate of this match. Seraphic with 2-0 after winning speed would just completely win both sets, get their first win overall here in the KDL preseason, which they would love to have. ShowTime trying to avoid that. 2 track wins away from an ace match.
And we're seeing a trend here from ShowTime. Monster is constantly trying to stay in the lead while his teammates are mostly staying in the middle of the pack, trying to pick up more items and throw some water bombs. And it has worked out in the second track, so I'm curious to see what will happen here as we're seeing Monster holding onto a magnet.
Yeah, he is holding on to that magnet for now, so you know, being the lead racer here, I was gonna say he's gonna eat a lot of aggro as he does get that aggro eaten. And Magnet, a great way of working your way back up into the mid-ranks as we see Frong just highlight that in perfect timing for us.
Exactly, and now we're seeing Minsik. He's going to be able to throw out a missile here along with a UFO, going to connect onto FaZe. Now Flare, he's holding on to a Lightning, and we're seeing 3 Angels across the board, 2 of them on the side of Seraphic, so I don't think Seraphic is too concerned about that Lightning.
Yeah, of course not. I mean, you're going to be really happy anytime you're holding on to 2 Angel Shields already on lap number 2, although they would love to get a couple more attacks in the bag, as the only Lightning we really have on the field here is with Flare. This kind of feels like the opposite of the cast that we did on Wednesday, where almost every single team was getting Lightning after Lightning after Lightning after Lightning. When it came down to item mode, a little bit more sparse here in Seraphic versus ShowTime is still now on lap number 3. Flare in first place with that Lightning Bolt and with a Magnet. Might not be too many big attacks coming in, especially with the Angel Shields we have on the field.
Yeah, there's a lot more utilization of barricades. We're seeing players crash into those instead to lose momentum. Now it's Promise and Minsik sitting in a 1-2. Promise, he's going to be able to absorb a lot of aggro with his defensive utility. While Minsik, he has an EMP as well as a booster. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Minsik go for a play.
Yeah, Snoopy as well right now holding onto a Nitrous and a Magnet as both of them get popped, and it's a race to the finish line. And yes, Snoopy with so much speed from both those items. There were no attacks coming in on him, and although he was sitting in the mid-ranks, anytime you can combo a Nitrous and a Magnet like that, right before the finish line, you're going to be feeling really good as Seraphic gets on the board yet again, now on match point, up 2-1 here against ShowTime.
Snoopy came in as the hero at the end there, and it is going to be a really nice win for Seraphic because now they are up 2-1. They could end it off before going to ace match if they win one more track. Whereas for ShowTime, the one hope for this team is that this is the team we talked about on last broadcast. always going 3-2 in item mode when they go for a comeback. That's how they won every single item rounds and sets. So it's maybe time for ShowTime to kind of awaken their inner passive.
Yeah. I like that. They're like a RPG character. That's their passive. Their comeback mechanic is they always work their way from 2-1s into 3-2s. You know, I doubted it last time. I'm a believer now. We'll see if they can actually pull it off as we're getting ready to move on to round number 4. Seraphic only 1 track win away from their first victory in KDL Preseason 2. Let's race on Desert Pharaoh's Pass.
We begin our item round number 4. It is match point for Seraphic. If they win here, they win the day 2-0 against ShowTime, and we will not have an ace match.
Yeah, Seraphic's just been playing so well. Minshik there in speed mode, and then the teamwork here in item mode has been superb for this team as they've been dominating really from the get-go, just only dropping 1 track thus far. ShowTime really need to make something happen here, but it's so precarious in item mode. Just have spin out after spin out after spin out.
Yeah, you said do something, but they're too busy trying to not get attacked right now as we see a UFO connector as well as Scarlet. He's going to stay behind and look for a water bomb angle, but he falls behind.
Yeah, and ShowTime right now actually do have 2 Angel Shields already after track number 1, so a very nice, safe setup here for them already. Going to be very happy with that, especially having it split on 2 different players means they can continue to cycle through all these items at, you know, a healthy rate here and increase their proc chance. Actually popping an Angel Shield here is perhaps they are feeling like maybe the Lightning isn't too much of a threat today. They're feeling a little more confident, deciding they want to increase their odds of getting attacks of their own here with the rotations, as it's only Flare now with the Angel.
Right now we're seeing Promise. He's trying to absorb whatever aggro he can with the shield. Of course, UFO is not an item he can block out, but that missile, he's going to be able to trade for a shield. Now, he pops his Nitrous to build himself a bigger lead. Monster, he's holding on to a missile of his own.
And Promise and Snoopy right now here in 1st and 2nd place will be taking most of the aggro here for Team Seraphic as they have 3 shields and an EMP in total. And once again, we have no Lightnings on the field here in lap number 3. So we'll see if one comes out here and, you know, some of these final last treasure chests. His Monster with some nice attacks, able to work his way into 1st place. But looking at the item setup, I'm liking the double Nitrous right now on Fron, although he is sitting in 8th place.
Right.
And we have a Magnet. Oh, he actually swaps it out, gets a Magnet and a Nitrous, so an even better setup for him.
And now we're seeing Promise. He's really trying to take this lead away right now. He's sitting on the shield and the EMP, trying to take it all the way home. His backup is going to be Scarlet here. Monster, he's only got a shield. There's no way to catch up to Promise.
No way to catch up to Promise, and Seraphic are going to have their first team win of the KDL preseason. They will not go winless here in preseason 2, as you can see them almost breathing a sigh of relief as, you know, finally picking up that first W has got to feel so good for these rookies, and they really deserved it today. They played so well in speed mode, and here in item as well, 3-1 win against a team with a 50% win rate in ShowTime is just solid as Promise coming through there in the clutch. FaZe unable to catch him.
With that set win secured for Seraphic, now we don't have a single team here in KDL Preseason 2 without a win.
Yeah.
Every single team at least has 1 wins in their bag now. And as you mentioned earlier, State, off of this win, now Seraphic is going to be above ShowTime in the overall standings, coming in at 7th place.
And for ShowTime, their KDL Preseason 2 run is going to end here. That was their final match of the preseason as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. Seraphic, they do have 1 more match left to be played, so, you know, maybe if they can keep this momentum going, pick up another win, they might actually be able to move up the ranks a little bit. I mean, of course, you are eliminated from the playoffs here as Seraphic, but you got to be feeling so good. 6-1 overall right now in tracks with this victory over ShowTime. It's a thrilling moment for these guys, I'm sure.
I honestly expected the matchup to be closer than this, State. It feels like...
Yeah, I thought the same.
Feels like ShowTime, when they lost in speed, they overall as a team today didn't really have the cohesion. Because in item round, they also lost 1-3. And when Seraphic was winning, it did feel like it was more one-sided. There wasn't a lot of like fighting through to get that first place.
Yeah, I think a lot of that just comes down to the form individually of Minshik, especially right now on Seraphic, because today he showed up and performed up to the role that this team defined for him. He is the speed ace, but to this point, up until today, overall, he was one of the bottom players in team rankings, which is not the performance that you want out of the player that should be the star of the show on your team, right? But today he absolutely delivered. He lived up to the hype. He came through. I think, if I'm not mistaken, was either first or second racer every single track for Seraphic there in speed mode, as he was a critical part of their success, picking up their first not only round wins, but set win in speed here in KDL Preseason 2.
Yeah, that's a huge congratulations to them. And we've gone through 2 preseasons right now here in the KDL as we prepare for the official season to begin. And I feel like this is a extremely promising start for the rookies to kind of just get a feel for where they stand overall in preseason 2. And I feel like they've shown that they can definitely take those matches off of pro teams. They just need to get better at the ace matches, because in the item matches so far, they've shown a lot of strength.
Yeah, it's really just speed and ace matches that has been the Achilles heel for, it feels like, every single rookie team here in KDL Preseason 2, even more so than in KDL Preseason 1. And as these pro teams continue to rack up the experience, they're practicing out of their minds. The skill gap, it feels like it's getting wider, but who knows? Maybe if players like the ones on Seraphic, like Minshik, can continue to come through with performances like this, they can put up a fight once we come to the next season of KDL.
Yeah, Minshik picked up a lot of fans himself, especially after that exciting ace match against Jung this week on Wednesday. And I'm sure even now, coming into the team match and performing well as well, a lot of fans are really hyped up to see Minshik more.
Guys, we're going to go to a short break. When we get back, our second team match of the night, Potential versus Aura. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you soon.
하나랑 지금 오리지널 치킨 한
플랜즈를 1등으로 빼놓고 자체 판단으로 뭔가 경기를 운영할 만한 약간 그 정도의 노련함은 쌓이지 못했거든요, 락스 선수들이. 그러다 보니까 플랜즈는 조금 더 빠르게 경기 운영을 위해서 뒤로 빠졌어요, 일부러.
오, 좀더 좀 빨리 쓰면서 쫓아봅니다. 약간 퍼센트가 달리려고 하고 있는데 쫑과 진짜 띵이 붙었고요.
센세이션이 천사를 썼다는 이유는 1위가 도망가려고 했던 건데 그걸 캐치를 잘했던 락스였습니다.
근데 일단 뚫긴 뚫었거든요.
자, 이거 퍼센트가 부스터를 아직까지 안 쓰는 거 보면 혹시 모르기 때문에 그냥 달리고 있는 것 같습니다. 그냥 순위 한번 뚫리고 나면 저 부스터가 없었을 때 다시 한번 턴이 돌아오지 않거든요.
쫑이 완전 뒤에 붙어있는데 이거 약간 망가지네요. 이제 플래지부터 미사일 2개?
오, 뒤쪽에서 이제 부스터 쓰면서
되죠?
선수들이 오려고 하겠죠.
근데 플래지가 날아가요.
부스터 하나씩 더 있어요. 센세이션이.
역전할 게
부스터!
없어 보이거든요.
부터 썼어요.
번개.
오르막
이러면
도치가 오르막 마지막 한 칸에서 걸렸어요.
와, 부스터를 조금 빠르게 쓰는 판단을 했던 호준이었는데 하필이면 번개가 그 오르막에 딱 걸렸네요.
야, 어떻게 이 끝 타이밍에서 항상 말씀 공템은 오르막에서 써야 된다.
네.
그래야지 상대가 속도가 확 죽는다. 이 말씀 매번 드렸었는데 그 공식대로 했습니다. 이렇게 스위핑 해주면서 최대한 못 올라오도록. 그러니까 물론 어느 정도 따라잡을 수 있는 드랩 타이밍도 있겠지만 이런 거 하나하나 만들어주는 겁니다.
타이어 구간에서 무리하다가 큰 사고가 일어날 확률은 상대적으로 드물기 때문에 지금 상황에서 선두권에 한 명이라도 더 쌓아놓는 게 중요하죠.
그래서 닐 혼자만으로는 안 됩니다. 닐 일단 나머지 3명 선수를 어떻게 눌러줄 수 있을지. 병수도 가까이 오기 가까이.
이러면 샌드박스 괜찮아지죠.
네, 이건 방금 전에 루닝이 사실 조금 안정적으로 갔어야 돼요. 너무 무리했습니다.
아, 이것도 굉장히 판단이 좋은 게 어차피 닐이 앞에 1등으로 있기 때문에 2, 3등 순간적으로 라인으로 통과를 해줄 수 있었거든요.
자, 이거 순위 싸움 어쩌나요? CG가 이제 녹이 하면 또 녹이.
네. 시즈가 녹에게 라인을 살짝 열어준 거죠. 이건 다음 드랩 받았을 때 어떻게든 녹이 앞으로 치고 나가서 원투를 깨야 됩니다.
못 깼는데요.
쉽지 않습니다. 같은 팀원들끼리 라인도 또 꼬였고 결국 병수를 잡기에는
무리해야죠.
직구밖에.
자, 시작 뛰는데.
빌드가 좀 꼬이면서 쉽지는 않았겠습니다.
근데 인원이 약간 올라오니까 아우라도 되나요?
네.
아, 근데 리브 샌드박스가 일단 순위가 좋죠.
아, 드랩 못 받도록 왼쪽으로 빠졌던 딜의 선택 기가 막혔습니다.
아,
2대1. 스피어가 번개가 좀 빨리 나온 상황이다. 저 오르막길 앞으로도 계속 봐야 되는 오르막길이거든요.
그리고 그 과정에서 속도형 아이템이 꼭 하나는 필요하고요.
번개 2개째.
그리고 뒤쪽에서는
3개째.
아, 기존에 닐이 했는데요.
예, 기도를 잘 들어주긴 했네요. 예.
비슷한 공간에서 빌어가지고
예.
개까지는 약간 기가민가 할 수 있는데 세 개가 딱 들어오는 순간에 선수들이 확신을 가지거든요.
이러면 이거는 승부가 된다. 이제부터 생각이 드는데. 자, 샌드박스는 항상 말씀드렸었던 것처럼 방어를 잘합니다.
예.
이 부분까지 방어가 될지 봐야 되고요.
딱 이런 느낌이죠. 오, 이쪽 일찌감치 소모를 하네요.
봤을 때 조금 치고 가요. 그러면 일단 풀었고요, 그거는.
이게 생각해보면 어차피 지금 샌드박스 앞 포지션이고 이거 상대 천사인 것만 빼면 나쁘지 않다라고
어?
생각했지만
번개 또 나왔어요, 네
천사가
개째.
대신 나왔어요.
네, 천사 저기도 있고 번개 또 나왔고.
그러면 또 상쇄시키고 두 개를 더 앞서는 광동 프리스가 된다는 계산이 나오죠.
자, 그래서 지금 근데 천사 또 상쇄했거든요, 서로.
같이.
네.
또 나왔어요.
번개 5개째.
자, 달다가 두 개의 미사일을 들고 있었기 때문에 앞쪽으로 하는 선수 정확하게 속도해야 됩니다.
속도는 월드가 되거든요. 이제부터 번개가 내려치면요. 그러니까.
자, 하나 더.
삐까. 삐까츄. 이러면 그냥 지나면 그만. 들어갑니다.
네. 번개가 3연타로 시간차 공격으로 들어왔기 때문에 당연히 재간이 없죠.
아, 거기다가 이거 번개를 모아가는 그런 느낌이 아니었거든. 쓰는 것 같아서. 그래서 우리도 천사를 쓰고. 그러면 이거 마지막에 없구나. 우리가 유리한 데가 됐을 거예요.
네.
근데 어디서 삐까를 할 줄은 몰랐겠지요.
그렇죠.
자, 물론 지금 감속은 좀 됐을 것 같아요.
이거 물거리 쟀어요.
자,
오, 스피어.
그러니까 물거리 딱 재서 이런 식으로 두 명씩 잡아낼 수 있는 선수거든요.
플레어도 가다가 멈췄고 미사일 또 맞습니다.
투실드?
자, 자석 타겟팅이 안 될 가능성이 높거든요.
자석 거리가 되나요?
아,
당겨요.
자, 이러면 이제부터 오히려 부담되죠. 방송 쪽에서.
자, 이제는 어떻게 해요? 인원들이 많이 갔는데 그냥 휙 날려버렸어요. 그래서 바나나 하나 들고 해지도 있어요, 프롬도.
중하위권에 있는 광동 선수들이 부스터가 꽤 있는 상황이기 때문에 빠르게
어,
합류해줘야 됩니다.
도장 찍혔어요?
하필 프레스가 내려왔습니다.
자, 여러분, 쿠리분들.
자, 이번 아이템이 주템. 실드 바로 바뀌고요.
투실드였죠.
이러면 쿨이 버틸 수 있는지 봐야 되거든요.
쿨도 무기 없는 상황에서 수비도 해야 되고.
그럼 뒤에서 올라와줘야 되겠죠? 아이템이 안 되면.
우주선은 해지로 대응
실드
가능할
나오.
거고요. 자, 우주선
플레이어입니다,
해지로
플레이어.
불러요.
해지 바로 봐.
바로
근데 아이템이 없는 상황.
돌고 선배.
말이죠.
선배.
오히려 아이템은 월드가 자서.
번개인데.
와, 기가 막힌 타이밍에 번개가 양쪽에 내리꽂혔네요.
3연속 1등을 눈앞에서 월드가 놓쳐버렸어요.
아, 기가 막혔습니다.
아, 아이템 S가 보여줍니다, 마지막에는.
팔레드 입장에서도 지금의 호준을 잡아먹고 싶을 거예요. 호준이 약간 흔들리는 경우도 있었기 때문에 흔들고 싶을 거예요.
갑자기 스탑할 수 있기 때문에 스칼렛이 차라리 앞쪽으로 가는 거 선택을 했네요.
호준도 지켜보면 저 라인은 너무 위험한데 이러면서
예.
오히려 감속하고 그 다음 턴 보는 거 침착하네요.
그만큼 굉장히 위태로운 선수들이 많이 나오는 편입니다.
그 과정에서 호주는 두 개의 부스터를 풀로 모아놓은 상태고 스칼렛은 상대적으로 굉장히 그냥 모임에 쓰고를 많이 했었죠.
진짜 영리한 플레이였습니다.
조준! 와, 진짜 KO 펀치, 첫 번째 내 민 펀치가 KO 펀치였네요.
왜냐면 스칼렛이 부스터를 좀 타이트하게 가져가고 있는 상황이었고 부스탑을 한다거나 이럴 수가 없었거든요. 라인이 많이 꼬였었고 호주는 넉넉하게 가져가면서 오히려 본인의 공격각을 쟀어요.
한 코너, 두 코너 차이가 나고 있습니다.
네.
그 사이에 호준이 계속해서 실수 없는 스윙을 좀 바라고 있어요.
괜히 스핀턴 같은 거 하지 않고 그냥 안전하게 승 찍을 생각이죠.
그렇죠, 안전하게.
이미,
안전해요.
이미.
가장 안전한 라인.
호준 들어왔어요.
정말 원래도 잘하는 선수지만 애결에서 오랜만에 호준다운 모습이 나왔습니다.
그렇습니다. 원래 이런 플레이 좋아하거든요. 단순히 주행으로 가기보다는 상대와 같이 뭔가 한 타이밍에 승부수를 보는 걸 또 선호하는 선수인데 제대로 가장 아플 만한 구간에서 상대에게 카운터를 꽂아 넣었어요.
Welcome back. Thank you guys for waiting. We just wrapped up Seraphic versus ShowTime. Seraphic picking up their first win of the KDL Preseason 2, and now we're moving on to the second team match of the evening, Potential versus Aura, a match that certainly has bigger implications on the standings here in the KDL. Is Aura right now, Potential coming onto stage. Aura right now, they're 2 and 3 overall in the standings at 5th place. And 4th place is that cutoff for who goes to the playoffs, who goes home next week. And this is their opportunity really to start to close the distance on Sensation, not just in, improving their record overall, but also their round differential, because should it come down to a tiebreaker, Aura, they really got to show up right now. They're dead even, not plus anything, not minus anything. 0 round differential, which means that every time they win a round, they also lose a round against the teams that they've played. Sensation right now is sitting at 3-2 and +9. So there is some work to be done by these guys coming on stage right now. Luning, the speed ace especially, is going to try to guide these guys to victory here in speed mode against the rookie team Potential, now sitting in 6th place.
Yeah, Aura had a really strong showing in Preseason 1 of KDL, and I feel like we just kind of looked at Aura as a team that's also going to make it to the postseason and Preseason 2 as well, but as of recent, they have been really faltering, and Sensation has been able to get a lot of usage out of that time, as you talked about, State. So Aura, if they lose today against Potential, it's kind of clear-cut that Sensation will be the one to move on, so hopefully Aura, they can have a good showing.
Yeah, Potential, Summer has really been a highlight for these fellas, even though he struggled in ace matches over the course of the early parts of Preseason 2 especially. He's sitting 5th overall in standings right now for team speed, which is just fantastic. The competition in KDL Preseason 2 is so intense. Since we're gonna mess things up completely. That's one of my favorite quotes from these teams that we got. I like the chaotic energy that it brings to the table here, but really Summer has been showing, I hate to reuse this term, but he's been showing that his ceiling is very high. I'm not going to use the word potential. His ceiling is very high indeed. And also with Taman and Banana coming over from Finale, this team, they've been performing quite well. Not quite enough to make them bound for the postseason, but these guys right here, Aura, especially with Luning and Hero at the top, would love to pick up a win and, you know, make a show of it here against Sensation.
Yeah, Aura, they absolutely have to try to win today, but Hero, he's been one of our players who's had the best speed average ranks coming into Preseason 2. Right now, it has gone down a bit, but overall, it's still looking really good. So, Aura, they are the favorites of this matchup, and they're saying, can you guys please step aside from our way to the postseason? Whereas earlier, Potential was like, in Korean, they were saying, I'm going to spray gochu powder on you. So it's like kind of saying, yeah, we know it doesn't matter for us anymore to win this match because we can't go to the postseason, but we're still going to spray some gochu powders at our opponent's eyes.
Pepper powder, yeah.
Yeah, and like mess them up so that we all can kind of just fall into the water and drown.
When you put it that way, it sounds quite evil, but yeah, potentially really, they are here to mess things up. That's their plan as we look at the speed track list. Track number 1 will be Forest Zigzag Timberland. I love that we're going to see this one here, one of my favorite tracks, followed by WKC Japan Circuit, Desert Construction, Chaos Village, Boom Hill Tunnel, and Factory Facility 5. So not too many highly difficult tracks. I'm actually surprised that we're not seeing, why am I blanking on the name right now? The one with the hairpin turns right before you head into the finish line, the snowy one. Winding, I don't know, I'm losing my mind actually, but you know, the difficulty of these tracks not quite as high as we generally see out of Aura. I guess potentially, you know, trying to ban some of these out with winding slopes and 3 shortcuts is their selection for bans there, ban 2 and ban number 4. And you know, for Aura, really, this is do or die for them. They have to win this series, and they have to also do quite well in this series if they want to put a dent in the lead that Sensation has put ahead of them right now in the standings. I mean, Sensation very comfortably in position 4 in their rankings. Aura right now, they're lagging behind in rank 5. And if they want to close the distance, it's going to have to start here as we move on to track number 1 between these two teams. It will be Forest Zigzag Timberland.
We begin our speed round 1 between our teams, Potential and Aura. And Potential has a pretty good position right now in the top ranks, but Best is all the way in 8th place, so they need to keep that up or Aura's going to take back the lead.
Yeah, and Aura's Hero and Luning off to not the best start right now as they're in the mid-ranks and with some nice drifting, actually able to work their way back up here into the top. So, you know, they're sizing up quite quickly here. And Wave, he's playing a little bit of a 1v4 with, you know, C's, Knock, Luning, and Hero all right behind him. And now Summer, the speed ace here. Keep in mind, he was 4th or 5th overall in team standings for speed coming into today. So some sweeping on him would be excellent here by Hero as you just see him trying to cause a little bit of trouble. Summer, he is the ace up the sleeve here in speed for team Potential. You can see Hero just absolutely keeping that in mind, paying a lot of respect to his individual skill, trying to keep him in check.
Keep in mind that Best has stayed 8th place throughout this whole race, and I feel like that's going to be a trend throughout as we see Summer. He's barely winning these line checks against Hero right now, and that shouldn't even be his main objective because mainly he has to come up and be the support for Wave to try to break apart this 1-2, but Aura, they are hanging on to this with the iron-tight grip.
Yeah, Hero's done a fantastic job of sweeping right now in the midfield as he's taken a lot of momentum from all these Potential players on the lower portion of the standings. And, you know, for Wave, he's been playing a 1v3 for a very long time now. Finally, Summer, Best, and JiMin are closing the distance to try and lend him some support. But, you know, in a 1v3 like that, with all the collisions, all the lines your opponents can take, you eventually will fall behind, even if you're a very good racer. His Hero sweeping is just absolutely superb right now.
Yeah, Luning also stayed behind there to go for a bit of sweeping himself. Now it's a 1-2-3-4 position for Aura. Hero, he's going to give up that 4th spot in attempt for getting more collisions across the board. You can see right now, he's winning the checks against JiMin and Best.
Oh yeah, it's just fantastic attacks, and PO feels like they're all but doomed here as C's and Knock running away with this one. Of course, 1-2 is a win condition, so Hero does not mind sacrificing himself. Went for a very bold collision off that, trying to ricochet back into Summer and Best and cause some more problems, but wasn't able to connect. Still, the damage, it feels like it's been done. Summer, he's so far from closing the distance on 1 and 2 with only 500 meters left to go. Peter, I think Aura is off to a great start here with their first win on Zigzag Timberland.
Not just a 1-2 punch, but a 1-2-3 punch, making sure their opponent cannot stand back up. Aura, with such a strong showing here in their own track of choice, showing why these pro teams, or more experienced teams rather, have a big preference for the harder tracks like Zigzag Timberland.
Yeah, I mean, Aura, speed, it's never really been their forte. In KDL Preseason 1, they started off as item specialist and slowly improved over the course of the season in speed. And here in KDL Preseason 2, it's a little bit more of the same. You know, only a 55% win rate overall here in rounds for speed mode for this team. But you know, the mechanical skill, it absolutely still is there, and they flex that hard on Zigzag Timberland. One of the most technically challenging tracks that we have here in Team Speed mode is that was a resounding victory for Aura. Very confident in their abilities here in speed. But now moving to WKC Japan Circuit is track number 2. Maybe PO can start a comeback.
You know, say, whenever we have Aura on this stage, I keep catching myself calling them pro teams when they're actually not officially a pro team. That's how good they are. They
feel
play
like
like
it.
one.
Absolutely.
And you see here at the replay, it's Wave really trying to win that 1v3 in the beginning, but of course, you can't do that when you don't have the support. And Hero, he's had so much support in that 1-3 from his team, so he's like, all right, I'm just going to sweep. I don't need to care about my own line. I'm just ricocheting off the walls.
Yeah, it's not about finishing like 1-2-3 or even 1-2-3-4 here for Aura. You just want the 1-2 finish, get that bag. 1-2 is a guaranteed win here in Team Speed mode, so lower-ranking players happy to sacrifice themselves for the better of the cause, as the sweeping was out of this world in track number 1 for Aura. Let's see if they can continue that momentum as we move on to track number 2, WKC Japan Circuit. And off we go on Japan Circuit. Aura once again off to a great start. Knock Hero and Luning already leading the pack. And I mean, the sweeping already coming in here from C's.
Yeah, it's just looking so good right now for Aura. They're constantly abusing the strategy of being 1-2-3 and just one member playing sweeper. And you got to give credit to Aura because it's not an easy strategy to pull off. You can see still right now, Wave and JiMin are so far behind.
Yeah, and this time it's C's doing the sweeping as well, as they don't mind trading hands at all here. It's actually Luning with a very odd line. I think we might have a disconnect, and that makes me wonder whether we're going to have a regame here, as Luning, I saw his cart go off the track, and he is fully disconnected now. So I'm assuming that we will have this lobby hosted up once again.
I mean, Aura, even without Luning, you can see how composed they are as a team because they're refusing to give up that mid-ranks.
Yeah.
Still being competitive against the JiMin and the Wave duo. Only now, Hero's going to fall behind into 7th place.
I mean, the race is continuing on for now, so we'll eventually see what the admin decision is going to be. Knock holding on to 1st place right now with 2 blue Nitro, so he will be hard to unseat from that position, and C's right now in 4th. I mean, Aura, despite Luning being all the way down in 8th, they still have a chance of winning this one right here.
If they do the 1-2, that's the win, right, State? That's exactly what Knock and C's are going for as they fight against Summer and JiMin. Summer is going to crash into the wall. Now JiMin, he's losing the line checks.
Oh, you're kidding me. Aura is playing this so strong right now. Knock and C's contesting the 1-2 finishes. Aura right now ahead in points. Even Hero sizing up in the mid-ranks all the way down in 5th points is, you know, JiMin and Best, they're making their best effort to try and, you know, force Hero and C's back, but no, Aura, they're just continuing to fight on right now. Knock and C so close from unseating JiMin from that rank 1 position. If they can deliver the 1-2 finish, it will be a win. Also 1-3-5, very close.
Right. I mean, C's has been winning a lot of the body checks so far, but now it's C's and Knock in 2nd and 3rd. JiMin, he was able to take away that 1st place along with Best coming in at 4th, and it is going to be enough for potential there to have a point lead in the end.
Yeah. So Potential is able to pick that one up. I wonder whether there will be a regame here, considering that we did have what appeared to be a disconnect on Luning's computer. Is just going to wait and hear exactly what the decision is going to be on this one, as it was very early there in lap number 1. But Aura, you know, even in a 3v4 situation, we're racing so well. It was kind of crazy. They were contesting the 1-2 finish for a very long time there. It felt like it was even in the cards, despite being down a man from lap number 1.
That's why I keep calling Aura a pro team, because the form they show when they're winning, it's like a wrecking ball. It doesn't stop.
I mean, that was some insane momentum from them, as looks like we are getting ready to go back into WKC Japan Circuit. Some fans here in the audience. So happy to have an audience here at the KDL. Of course, on the weekends, gets a little bit more lively.
Right. And we saw a fan earlier as well with the cheer pool cheering on Potential. They haven't given up, saying, come on, guys, we can still make it to the postseason. But our rematch is confirmed.
Yeah, rematch is confirmed, so we're going back to WKC Japan circuit here. It still is round number 2 here in speed mode between Aura and PO. Let's do it again. So we saw the skill coming out of Aura despite the early disconnect there from Luning. We're still in contention of potentially winning 3 versus 4 here in speed with a 1-2 finish. But now that PO's off to a little bit of a better start on WKC Japan circuit this time around, maybe it'll be a different story.
Absolutely. Hero, he's trying to keep up right now. Luning, he does come up for support. That's what I like about Aura. You don't see Nock in the 8th place right now. Nock is winning that battle against Wave, and this is going to be big if he can maintain that because it buys a lot of breathing space for Hero, Luning, and Seas to catch back up into 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, Summer right now, the speed ace here for Potential doing a good job of zoning Hero out as he went for an ambitious block. Hero was able to dodge it best with a nice little nudge there. A little tiny bit of sweeping as it is Hero racing a 1v2. Now with Luning behind him, should make this a little bit easier. Now you see the dynamic kind of change here.
Yeah.
As Hero and Luning coming in with a 2v2. Now it's a much more difficult for Best and Summer to actually zone them out.
Luning went for an aggressive turn there, but he hit the wall, so he lost a lot of speed off that one. Now he's struggling to maintain a lead going along with Hero here. He fell all the way into 4th place, and now 1-2 is a lot easier for Potential to hold because there's a lot more room.
Yeah, but it's only lap number 2, so there's a lot of kart rider left to be played here. So we got to be ready to enter the final lap now. Hero able to unseat Summer from that 1st place position, but Best with the inner line. We'll take that back as we just continue to exchange hands here at the top ranks. And although Nock and Seas right now are sitting down by, position 6, position 8, it's really going to come down to Hero holding on to rank 1 and Luning potentially joining him there.
That is absolutely the win condition right now. Just as you said it, State, Luning is trying to get that 2nd place. It seems like Hero, he's winning the checks against Wave right now, but Best, he comes in out of nowhere, and you look at the triplets out of Potential.
Yeah, Potential coming through really strong here in the final lap, but Aura is able to unseat Best once again from 1st place. Hero is able to take that 1 spot, but Best, is able to pass him down the line. It's not enough, though. With a 2-3-4 finish, the midfield just too strong here for Aura as they get just enough points to come through with a win. Wow, what a close race.
Aura showing up in their opponent's track, looking completely unfazed, and you have to keep in mind that Aura, they respected Potential's play in these WKC tracks. They banned out the Brazil circuit. They had to play in the Japan circuit because Potential, they picked it right away for their 2nd track, but they're able to beat them in it.
Yeah, that was a very close one, too. It really felt like coming down that final 500-meter stretch, Potential was going to come through with a win as, they got 3 racers all holding on to the top 3 spots, but Aura was just able to skirt around them, take the tighter line, find their way to the finish line first, and with a 2-3-4 finish, despite not getting 1st place, that's a guaranteed win. So now up 2-0, it is match point here for Team Aura as they look to continue on and keep their postseason dream alive.
Yeah, last time Aura and Potential met each other was in the preliminaries, and Aura won 3-0 in speed. They're looking to repeat that here today. If they win this 3rd track, it is going to be a 3-0 win. We're moving on into Desert Construction Chaos. This is match point for Aura if they win, and this is also their own track, so they are looking to close it off right here, right now.
Yeah, Luning's off to a fantastic start, too, with Nock and Seas right behind him. So the Speed Ace Summer here for Team Potential will have to play a 1v3 a little bit here. And you can see him kind of doing a bit of sweeping himself, just trying to keep Nock from at least getting up into that 1-2 position. Nice zoning out here by Summer. He just wants to buy some time for Wave, for JiMin, for Best, to start to close the distance and lend him a little bit of support.
Keep in mind, in the back line, it's Aura winning the fight against Potential right now. Summer, he's really trying to do whatever he can to prevent Luning from getting first, but Nock, you can see him sacrificing his own line, trying to approach Summer and knock him out of the way.
Especially with that New York City tour bus, going to be so good at sweeping with this long cart body is that might potentially come into play here.
Oh,
Nock just
Luning,
trying to close the distance.
Yeah, Luning had such a good line there going into that one. Summer, he was also able to not get interfered by Nock, so it's going pretty well for both teams up in here for 1 and 2. But like I said, it's Aura's support that is winning against Potential in the back.
Yeah, the fact that Seas and Knock are so close behind Luning and Summer means that it's going to become increasingly problematic for Potential to actually come through with a win here. Taemin, Wave, and Best in the back ranks, they're really going to have to step it up. And you can even see on the minimap right now, I mean, we don't have a vision of it, but you can see Hero just turning and doing a little bit of body blocking of himself. And oh, Summer, no.
He's getting collided into non-stop by Aura there. The line blocking was phenomenal. Now it's up to Taemin to try to break the 1-2, but look how far behind he is. Knock. He's just playing bodyguard at this point. He's going to look to knock out both players from Potential as we enter the tight turns.
Yeah, and he's going to really use his cart body to its full potential here too, as well as Taemin going to have a hard time closing the distance. He actually is able to take the inner line and pass Knock, but Aura, Seas, and Luning already have to great start. Oh my goodness, that is some of the most fantastic body blocking I have seen.
Knock, knock.
Yeah, that was absolutely wild. I mean, that just basically won the track. That was speed mode here for Aura. As another one comes through. 200 meters, I think, separating their closest PO player, Wave, from the 1-2 duo, Luning and Seas. That was an ambitious block there from Knock. He had basically no momentum, went full stop, and was able to just siphon away all of the speed that anyone had on Team Potential, any chance they had at coming back here in track number 3. And instead, it's going to be a 3-0 sweep here in speed mode for Team Aura.
Yeah, I went into a little bit earlier. The last time Aura and Potential fought in the preliminaries, it was a crushing win for Aura, winning 3-0 in speed, 3-1 in item. And Aura, they made the same thing happen here in speed already. So now, if you're Potential, you have to try to come back in item mode because that's where they showed their main strengths.
Aura feeling very good about that. 2 thumbs up, as Luning is very satisfied with that victory, of course. Aura not only winning the set, but going 3-0 will assist their round differential, closing the distance here on Team Sensation, as you know, it might take a miracle run from this team to make it to the postseason, but after a 3-0 start here in speed mode against Potential, I mean, that's what you need to get the ball rolling. There is still a chance for these guys, and now we're gonna have to shift our eyes to item mode because Potential swapping in Banana, of course, former item ace on his previous team, Finale Esports, now the item ace here on Team Potential. A very dangerous player, a strong strategist to go up against. Aura making a swap of their own. Knock Tech Duo will be, you know, their tag team here.
Tech, he's well known for being such a sufficient item ace. He's always able to make a lot of plays for item mode on the teams that he's been a part of. As we take a look at the item track list, of course, Potential, they were able to pick their first choice in Village Town Hall, followed by Polar Halfpipe and Cogwheel Crush. Whereas Aura, their strategy seems to be more along the lines of going to Factory Brody's Gloom and Desert Pharaoh's Pass.
Yeah, so Potential, not only do they have the better record overall right now in Team Item here in KDL Preseason 2, but they also have item mode priority. So picking 3 out of 5 maps here is going to be a comfortable position for them, especially given how volatile item mode has been so far here in KDL Preseason 2. I wouldn't be surprised if Banana had some builds cooked up or maybe some combinations cooked up for maps such as Polar Halfpipe or Brody's Gloom or Cogwheel Crush, which can be very tricky here in item mode. And, you know, if this goes to an ace match, that's not really the situation that Aura wants, even if they come through with a win, because every round really matters for this team if they want to close the distance on Team Sensation.
Yeah, I'm sure Aura's absolutely scared right now because Potential's 3 wins in item set so far were against Guangdong Freaks, Live Sandbox, and Seongnam Rocks.
Wow.
Now looking to add Aura onto that list of opponents they beat in item mode as we get ready to move into round number 1 in Village Town Hall.
And off we go on Village Town Halls. I actually had no idea that they had won item mode against the 3 top teams in the standings.
Yeah.
That's something hard to go up against here as Team Aura. I mean, you're right there on the cusp, sitting at position 5 in the rankings, right behind Sensation and those other 3 teams that you listed. It's gonna be a gauntlet here. I mean, Banana and Taemin especially, they just have so much chemistry. You can feel it.
Right. They came together, after all, from Team Finale onto Team Potential, and they have been doing phenomenal so far. And so far, we're in a 3-lapper track. It seems like we're seeing the standard items in the beginning. No early Angel.
And no early Angels, no early Lightnings either for these team. So
Yep.
kind of reminiscent of the earlier match that we had here today in item mode, where we're probably going to be prioritizing attacks and setting up combinations such as Nitrous and Magnet a little bit more here. And of course, with the Fog of War, these teams don't know exactly what the item setup is on their opponents, right? So it can be very difficult to exactly plan for what the situation is going to be.
Yeah, and this is a track where these water bombs are a bit easier to dodge because of how wide the track tends to be. And we're seeing JiMin, he's been holding on to that water bomb for quite a while. Now he's going to cycle through it. And there's a lot more focus now on magnets and boosters.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the next best thing. If you can't come through with Angel Shields or Thunderbolts, you want to set up with as many players as you can to really have big attacks. Or not big attacks, excuse me. Big potential to come through that finish line with a lot of speed. That's worked in the past here in item mode. That was the meta even in KDL Preseason 1, is doing a quick check here on the item inventories as we start lap number 3. Double magnets right now on tech. Not really a lot of other big speed combos, just a ton of magnets at the top ranks.
I mean, you just have to kind of stick to that first place. That's what the strategy Aura's going for right now. Tech, he's going to quickly cycle through one of those magnets.
Yeah, cycling through that magnet here as we do have Nitrous and magnets on the field, only 500 meters away. Wave will pop that magnet, but there isn't too much more speed to be found. And a nice attack coming in actually will knock him out almost entirely here as Aura Seas goes unopposed all the way into the finish line. Easy win there for Team Aura, and getting a nice 1-0 start here against Potential has got to feel good, especially considering, Potential, they have been the killers of Titans here in item mode so far in KDL Preseason 2. As you said, I mean, the Freaks, Live Sandbox, Songnam Rocks, all defeated by this team, especially by Banana and Finale, the item specialists on Team Potential. So Aura just continuing their win streak here of 4-0 overall in tracks, of course, after going 3-0 in speed. Now up 1-0 here in item mode, as I'm telling you, I guarantee Sensation right now, they're watching this from home and might be sweating a little bit. It seems like Aura might actually be making a push here for the postseason.
Well, a 4-0 is a great way to start that push. That's the round differential right now between Potential and Aura in the match today. Aura, if they can win this one 6-0, as you said, the round differentials overall is really important between Aura and Sensation, and they might catch up off of today.
Yeah, I think it's a 9-point differential right now, as Sensation's been killer in the rounds. Aura, dead even coming into today, but a 6-0 win, should they get it, of course, we're a couple of tracks away from that, would do wonders for this team and potentially paving their way into the postseason as we get ready and move to item mode track number 2. It's going to be Factory Brody's Gloom.
Start off for item round number 2 with Aura firmly in the lead 1-0 after their crushing win in speed. Aura in top form right now.
Yeah, they're looking really good, and in an interesting item mode match where they didn't even get Thunderbolts or a lot of UFOs or Angel Shields on either side. They were still able to come through with a nice clutch win, a lot of speed on the back line, and being able to adjust in situations like that where the item draws kind of go in a little bit of an unexpected way in this meta is very promising here for Team Aura.
As we see a lot of early Angels being picked up right now for JiMin, Wave, and Tech. So far, there's a lot of Nitrous on the board.
Slowing down so much is Seas. Finally picking up that item. Is a barricade, pops that immediately now. As looking at the Angel Shields, I think it's actually Potential that has... Okay, they have 2 of them. For a moment there, I thought we had 3. Sometimes it's hard to tell with how fast these players change ranks exactly. I read the name and then I go check the inventory, and by then, somebody that was in position 5 is in position 3 or position 8. Yeah, it's tricky, but a lot of Angel Shields right now on both sides of the board. No Lightnings just yet, but of course not as consequential here with the Angel Shield setup that we have. And in fact, even Shields in general, quite common. So attack's not going to be really strong here in the final lap number 2. And instead, I'm kind of putting my eyes on racers like Hero, who's sitting right now with a Nitrous and a Magnet, because with support from his team and Angel Shields, he can make a very big push here for Team Aura to try and pick up another track win.
As you said, Say, given the emphasis of heavy defensive item right now being held by both teams. It might be more important rather to go for those plays with magnets instead, because shields and angels cannot protect the players from a magnet. There's no EMP wave on the field. It's Banana, Knock, and Hero looking for a heroic play at the end.
And there's nobody on potential who has the Magnet Nitrous combo, so we'll see what's going to come through here for Team Aura as they are pumping right now on the finish line. 200 meters left to go. Angel Shield pops.
Whoa,
Summer actually
Summer.
able to make through. Multiple attacks right there, popping both a shield and an angel shield as the defensive items come through in the clutch, and Pio gets on the board here, tying it up 1-1 in item mode.
Yeah, Summer, as you said, came in super clutch with that Angel and Shield combo, was able to speed through right into the finish line, no problem, and had Summer not been there, Aura would have had a response of their own because they were also really, really close to getting that first place finish. You can see Hero, he was only 0.2 seconds away.
Yeah, it was about a 1/10 of a second behind as that Nitrous and Magnet combo is oh so potent here in item mode when you really get the defensive setup that both teams had on a track like that one. But just potential, a little bit too fast. The Speed Ace Summer showing that he can be speedy in item mode too. Finishing in first place, they're delivering the win, and that round differential not quite as good here for Aura anymore, as they would love to try and keep it going, regain that momentum here as we do get a recap, and I'd love to see this replay here because I really thought that Aura was going to be able to close the distance completely here at the finish line. So you see Aura, or potential Summer, excuse me, pop that shield and that Angel shield in addition to the Nitrous, just able to perfectly work his way through all these multiple attacks, and a 1/10 of a second proving to be the difference there between Summer and Hero, deciding the fate of their teams.
Right, and you can see the completely contrasting opinions from our fans here. The fans of Aura saying it's going to be an easy 2-0 sweep for the day, and the fans of Potential saying we can still go to the postseason.
Well, that's a very optimistic outlook there for the fans of Team Potential as we get ready to move to item round number 3 on Glacier Polar Halfpipe. Was there really a fan sign that said Potential's going to make it to the postseason?
Yeah, it said, Potential, show me your potential to move into postseason. Word for word, State.
It's just funny to me that they're sitting at 1-4 right now overall in the standings. I mean, this is a team that absolutely has the skill and has the skill ceiling to make it to the postseason. Just hasn't really gone their way so far here in KDL Preseason 2. As you know, the addition of Banana and JiMin coming in here from Team Finale has been a boon to them here in item mode, but they just haven't really been able to put it all the way together, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to stick together as a team in the next season of the KDL.
Right.
You know, they might be one of the rookie teams that really does have a chance of making a push, of making it to the postseason, but right now, really, it's Aura who's trying to fight it out with Sensation for that final spot, that coveted 4th rank to make it to the postseason. And, you know, now that we're already on lap number 2, we actually have a lot of Lightnings coming in, Peter. Both Tech and Knock, the Knock Tech duo, each with a Lightning of their own.
Aura looking absolutely fearsome right there as we see Potential. They're holding onto a shield, and Banana and JiMin, but the rest of the players, they don't have a shield. There's no Angel, so it is going to be concerning for them right now if they don't pick up more defensive items.
A nice water balloon there, able to catch the lead racer wave and bring him back all the way down to rank number 3 here, but no Angel shield still on the field as we get closer and closer to lap number 3, so I'm starting to get a little bit concerned here for Team Potential as they don't have any Lightnings, don't have any Angel shields. The team inventories are sparse overall, and on the flip side, Aura is just looking very solid.
Yeah, Potential, they do have a lead right now, but will they be able to maintain it? Summer and Wave, they both have a Nitrous to get up onto the top portion of the track, but almost every single player has a Nitrous right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of Nitrous on the field, and JiMin actually here for Team Potential, able to work his way onto the shortcut. That's a big boon here for this team.
Oh my
I
God,
mean, look,
where's
Aura,
Summer?
There's 2 more
Summer
racers
so
able
far
to work their way in, and now Lightnings are coming through 400 meters away. Potential, Summer, excuse me, was trying to run away with this thing, but the attacks are just absolutely relentless. UFO comes in, as we'll see if they're able to actually make it across the finish line. And no, the final attack there on Banana, the magnet by C's on Banana, able to siphon a little bit of his momentum. And Aura with a 1-2-3-4 finish there. I mean, Potential, they made a great run right at the finish line despite not really having the best team inventory setup. I think they only had 1 Angel Shield, if I'm not mistaken, coming down those 500 meters. But They made a close run of it. Still, Aura able to get the better trade as it was 2 or 3 seconds separating C's from JiMin.
Yeah, I mean, Summer was so far ahead that I got really worried there, but Aura, they were able to catch right back up, throwing out all their offensive items. It did the trick, and now they're leading 2-1, getting some of those round wins that you talked about, State, and they would love to finish it off on a high note and win the next one, take it home 2-0, but potential, you know, a lot of teams have shown us, especially the amateur teams, that 3-2 in item mode is a very common thing in preseason 2.
Especially for a team like Potential that is so skilled in item mode. One of the better item mode teams that we have here in KDL Preseason 2 is Aura going to try to close it out here on match point, moving to round number 4, item mode on Desert Pharaoh's Pass.
Our round 4 of item is match point for Aura, and Potential on the other hand, if we talk about this team's history so far in Preseason 2, they've gone to ace matches in 4 out of 5 matches they played. Only against Sensation, they had a crushing defeat, which was the previous match before this one against Aura, and Aura, they don't want to go to that ace match like you said, State. They want to have the biggest round differentials possible. And so far, this knock duo with Tech, C's constantly being in the lead, it has been pretty key for them, not only in speed, but also in item.
Yeah, and although Summer has struggled a little bit here this preseason in ace matches for Team Potential, I don't even think it's the fear of him being a top racer that is why Aura would be hesitant to want to go to an ace match here and, you know, look at that as a worst case scenario. Obviously, his team actually with so much speed there, that was crazy. But yeah, it's just the round differential is so key. I think coming in today, of course, Sensation was +9 overall in round differential and also had more wins in the standing. So Aura not only needing to pick up the wins, but needing to do it in convincing fashion to really close the distance and give Sensation a run for their money in that final playoff spot. And so far, they're off to a great start. And once again, a lot of Angel Shields on the field, and actually some Lightnings as well. I think Potential actually with both of them. Yes,
oh
Summer.
My God, 2 more just got picked up.
Whoa, we have 4 Lightnings on the field. Wait, did Aura get 2 as well? We have 4 Lightnings, 2 on each team.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a Lightning, we get a Lightning too. That's the kind of fair give and take world we live in, right, State?
Yeah,
and of course,
crazy.
The Angels.
There's 4 Angel Shields as well. So,
yeah.
I mean, like, these racers are not going to be rotating out items very much at all here, as there's so many highly coveted. I don't think we have ever seen a team inventory set up quite like this for both teams, with 4 Lightnings, 4 Angel Shields, so many highly coveted items, so high impact. It makes it hard really to predict. I mean, now I'm looking at C's here for Aura, who's in 3rd position as Lightning and Angels do get popped very early here in lap number 3 coming into this first jump as momentum was trying to get taken away. And we'll see what C's is able to make happen here with a Nitrous and a Magnet as he's sitting in position number 3. He does pop it, but not enough speed. He actually got body blocked there too on that narrow corridor as JiMin was able to work his way into 1st place, Potential picking up another win.
I was a bit worried there because Wave, he didn't get the protecting from Angel against the Lightning, so he fell behind. And as you saw at the end, it became really close. But Banana, he was able to hold on to the lead that he developed by being able to dodge the Lightning. And no, it was JiMin actually, not Banana.
Right.
My bad. JiMin came in pretty clutch there, and now we're tied 2-2.
Yeah, going all the way, going the distance here in item mode as these teams just going really tit for tat. It's been so close between them all KDL Preseason 2 long. Both these teams hovering at around 50% overall in item mode wins in rounds. Definitely an even match for each other, or they would love to close this one out and avoid that ace match here as, you know, a loss to Potential in the following item mode and also in an ace match would basically be the end of their season here in KDL Preseason 2 as we get a recap. And I really thought C's with that Nitrous, but the body block by Wave was so good. I thought C's with the Nitrous and the Magnet was going to be able to make something happen, but wow, Wave just really cutting him off there.
Yeah, exactly as you said. He was able to actually utilize the fact that he got set back to now play the sweeper role, which is not as common in item mode.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, anytime you can body block like that, especially a lead racer like C's who's gunning for the finish line, you're going to do it, and it pays dividends here for Team Potential as we're going to go the distance here. Round number 5 coming up on Factory Cogwheel Crush. Last track of team item mode today is Aura is looking to close it out. Potential trying to force an ace match.
That would be lovely to see happen. Right now, we're seeing a very early lightning picked up by Hero here. And
Yeah, nice catch.
yeah, no Angels, of course, had this earliest phase of the race hit. No, Wave, he picks up a Angel as well.
Yeah, so some early high-value items getting picked up on both sides. As we'll have to keep tabs on that as we continue to progress through this one. Now Wave getting hit by a Water Wisp. Will be slowed down a bit. I think a Rocket as well actually might have connected with him. So a little momentum getting lost there as everyone just navigating their way through. And the way these inventories are lining up, still very balanced overall. No team has a clear advantage just yet.
Right, we're seeing an EMP being held by Summer as he speeds off, but I don't think that's going to be enough defense for him just yet.
Ooh.
We see the shortcut being opted for by 4 players there.
Yeah, a lot of racers able to work their way through this shortcut.
And I love that water bomb usage. It was able to stop the players while they were in the momentum from that shortcut. Now it's Wave strongly in the lead, along with Season Nog. He's playing a 1v2 up there.
Yeah, with Knock also behind him. I mean, look at Aura with all these magnets up here in the top ranks. Now that final shield does get popped by C's, so all these additional attacks are going to connect. But with the magnets that they've got, Aura can continue to keep players in position here. As C's, Tech, even Knock right now sitting at position number 8 with the magnet are all in striking distance as we enter the latter portions here on lap number 2. And still on the field right now. Double Angel Shield for Team Potential. There is 1 Lightning available for Aura, but that, of course, can be mitigated by those defensive item setups as we're getting closer and closer to that finish line, Peter. Very even overall.
We have 4 magnets on the board total right now. C's leading the pack with a shield and a magnet of his own. Tech, he has a missile and a boost. It feels like this top 4 is going to be really heavily contested.
Yeah, Lightning does get mitigated there by the Angel Shield. Nobody able to take advantage of the shortcut here as C's right now in the lead. He does have 1 shield in this back pocket. Knock also with the Nitro right behind him as he actually will be slowed down there by a magnet. I think Taven and Banana might have had enough momentum as Potential's going to come through with a 3-2 win. Coming back from, I think, a 2-1 deficit here in item mode to win the final 2 tracks and force an ace. As this is, the worst case scenario here for Team Aura, as now that round differential that was looking to get so much better has been mitigated a little bit. It's not quite as good as it once was. And on top of that, you're now in a must-win situation here in this ace match where if you lose, you're going to fall to 2-4 overall in the standings, and your playoff hopes, they're going down the drain. I mean, it would take a miracle if after a loss here for Aura to qualify, if it's even possible mathematically.
Potential is trying to keep their promise. They said they want to spray that pepper powder. They might do it against Aura. They've already done it in the round differentials, like you said, State. But if they're able to win in this ace match against Aura, it would be the upset that we didn't expect to happen. So far, Potential, they played 4 ace matches. Summer played in all of them. He's only won 1 match against Ghost.
He only won 1 match against Ghost, but this is a kid that has so much potential. His ceiling is very high. He's an excellent racer. He's been at the top of the team rankings for speed pretty much the entire KDL preseason. He's just been struggling to really find that breakthrough in the ace matches. You think it's going to have to be the choice here for Team Potential. But, 1 breakthrough win against Ghost, maybe that's enough to remove the mental block, get him in his comfort zone. This is a situation that he's been finding himself in time and time again here for Team Potential. And, maybe it's a different story. Maybe he's comfortable coming up here against the more veteran team, Aura, in an ace match.
Yeah, keep in mind that Aura, they've been really dominant in their wins and also dominant in their losses because they've only played 1 ace match so far. It was Luning going up against Ghost in the matchup against ShowTime. And this is the 2nd ace match of the season they're playing. It's likely that we'll see Luning come up here, but we don't know yet because we don't have too much data on that yet.
It might be Luning. I also wouldn't be surprised if Aura went with with Hero, their runner, as it seems like there is a discussion taking place here amongst both these teams to decide who is going to represent them in the ace match. But Hero and Summer, 2 of the top racers overall in team matches so far. Luning, of course, he is the speed ace on Team Aura, but he's kind of middling right now in the standings. He hasn't had quite as good a preseason as he did in KDL Preseason 1. So there are some questions here for Aura about who you're going to choose. Is it going to be Hero, your runner? Is it going to be Luning, your speed ace? I know Wolf, if he's watching at home right now, would love to see Luning come out here in this ace match.
Yep.
As conversation continuing here, I think it just has to be Summer for team potential, but
Ooh, our fan is saying they trust Hero.
mm,
And our producers showing that maybe we could have Hero up here state.
it might be. I mean, again, 4th overall in team speed average rankings is just a testament to his consistency. As Hero has been at the top of his game, really stepping it up here in KDL Preseason 2 for Team Aura, as we, I think, are going to find out what the track is going to be, Peter.
Ooh, it's going to be World Tour New York Rally.
Okay. It's going to be a fun one to finish off the team matches here tonight.
This is going to be a track where draft is going to be the most important part that determines it, because the way the track is designed, there's so much room to catch up at any time. So you shouldn't be afraid of falling behind. You really want to make sure that you're maintaining your nitrous boost better.
Oh, wow. It's going to be
Whoa.
Knock versus Summer. So potential surprising, or potential, excuse me, Aura surprising all of us a little bit here with this selection here. It's not going to be their speed ace. It's not going to be their runner. It's going to be Knock from the Knock Tech duo. Coming out to race in the ace match, I guess he feels comfortable. He feels like his form is good. Of course, Aura reaching a consensus, and they're not doing this lightly. This is a pivotal match in their pass of the post this season. So much is on the shoulders here for Knock to come through in the clutch for Team Aura. Will he be able to do it? Will he be able to beat the young kid Summer? Or will Team Potential stymie Aura's chances of making their way to the postseason? Let's decide it here on the ace map track. World Tour New York Rally.
One ace match to decide the fate for Potential and Aura. It's Knock versus Summer right now. Summer, he's always shown himself in the ace matches for his team. Now it's Knock who's really trying to make that debut here for Team Aura. And Knock does have a phenomenal lead right now. Also in the boost gauge, Knock is leading. Right now, Summer is playing catch up. He's complete gauge behind, not within draft range either.
Yeah, Knock off to a great start right now. Summer trying to close the distance, and I think he should be able to do it. As you said, this is one of those tracks where it's hard for one racer to really get a very large lead over their opponent, as Summer now once again comfortably in draft range, but the nitrous gauge dangerously close, so it really will come down to those drafts.
Right now, we're seeing Knock. He's pretty much been uncontested, but Summer, he does manage to close the gap now. He's looking for the potential inners, but you can see Knock right there. He instantly moves inwards to try to potentially block out Summer, but all it did was allow Summer to get more room to catch up.
Yeah, it's a very close race right now. Summer still in striking distance despite being a couple of meters behind Knock. And really here for Summer, just about waiting for that moment to strike, is you have to choose when it's going to be. You don't want Knock to also get that drafted. Oh, I guess he
Here he
decides
comes.
right now this is the moment where he's going to take the lead. So now the body blocking here for Summer going to be absolutely crucial.
Whoa.
But no, we change hands once again. I would not be surprised if we had this exchange at least once more here, coming down closer to the finish line.
Now it's Summer's turn to try to look for the draft. He's going for the ender, but Knock, look at his line. It's phenomenal. And you can see two players taking the left and right, completely different lines here, but it's Knock with the advantage, coming in first.
Knock able to come through in the clutch there for Team Aura and keep their postseason dreams alive, as it was almost a must-win situation for them. Now closing the distance on Team Sensation. That gap between rank 4 and rank 5 becomes ever closer here, but oh man, what a fantastic race that we had right there. I was on the edge of my seat. Summer and Knock really going tit for tat, and also what a surprise pick from Aura, putting the faith in Knock, their hybrid player, somebody that's known not just for his skill and speed, but also primarily in item mode, coming through with him instead of the speed ace Luning, instead of the runner Hero who's topping the standings right now in team speed. They go to Knock, and it was a correct choice.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a closer matchup than we expected today. Potential being able to win in that item mode, bringing us to this ace match. And one thing I do want to highlight is Summer just now on the camera. He gave a thumbs up. He's not shaken by that at all, which is very surprising to me, because now Summer has played in 5 ace matches, lost 4 of them, but this player, his mental is still strong.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show how strong his mental really is. And, for a young kid like him, he's one of the younger players that we have in the league here of KDL Preseason 2. His performance already here over the course of this preseason has been so good in the team matches. And, he's already gotten his win in the ace, and that was one that could have gone either way right there with Knock at the end too. I mean, one draft maybe goes a little bit better. He takes one line a little bit better. Maybe he's able to upseat the veteran and finish in first place. As you know, for potential, you know, they're at the bottom of the standings right now in the team rankings overall. I think you just take this one. You know, you won an item mode. You're still showing that you have a lot of skill overall. You're going to come back, retool, rekit for the next season of KDL and be even better here as we get a look at the standings.
Yeah, now Aura with 3-3 right now for their scoreboard. Sensation 3-2. If Sensation loses their next match, Sensation will still be on top of Aura, most likely due to the round differentials, which is why we kept highlighting that. But at least now Aura does have a slight chance.
Yeah, there is absolutely a chance for them. And you know, coming into today, there was a 9-point differential in rounds between Sensation and Aura, and with their victory, they are able to lower that to 6. So, you know, Sensation, it's going to come down to these couple of matches they have left, right? I mean, they have 2 more matches left to be played. Aura, of course, has 1. And
right.
for Aura, every single lap from here on out, every single track, every single set, it's going to be a must-win situation for them. Sensation, if they're able to just continue to solidify their position there in the rankings, they're going to be heading to the postseason.
And I love that cheerful from the fan there saying, knock, knock on the door of victory. I wonder if they just wrote that or they actually...
They must have.
Yeah, I mean, how could they predict that, right?
Yeah, I mean, the fans here at the KDL are so good, and I love all the clever and creative cheerfuls we have out, too. I mean, there really is such a passionate fan base for this game out here in Korea. It's always such a treat to come here in the KDL studio and see it just absolutely pack up.
Yeah, and I feel like this was one of our best showings we've had so far on Knock as a player. I feel like our eyes are usually on him to be the sweeper for Team Aura because there's players like Hero who's always just running it off into first place. So we haven't seen too much of his speed capabilities yet, but I feel like today in the ace match, he has shown himself, and this just really shows why Aura as a team always feels super strong because they have a fully packed roster and everyone's good at speed.
Absolutely. I mean, they are a strong team from top to bottom, not only in speed mode and item mode. And so there's very good reason why they were in the postseason last season of KDL, and they're making a strong push to make it this season as well. And guys, we're going to go to a short break. When we get back, solo match, round of 16, the winners match. 4 of these gamers are going to go to the finals. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you in a minute. Oh, actually,
never
I
mind.
think we're holding on for a second. Okay.
Nobody stopping me. Nobody stopping me. Nobody stopping me. Nobody stopping me.
빨리 케이크 먹고 싶어.
야 나랑 지민 형만 못 먹었어 많이.
아 이거 내가 먹었던데?
아니야. 나도 아니야. 나는 가장염 하나랑 지금 오리지널 치킨 하나 먹었어.
낭만이란 배를. 할아버지 있냐 여기?
자꾸 홈홈에 홈 트로트 같은 거 들어. 막걸리 한 잔.
와 지난 시즌 나 2조 5등 이번 4등.
아 포텐셜 경기를 했어야 됐어.
그냥 델리를 했어야 됐어.
커뮤니케이션을 통해서 현수와 병수가 누가 먼저 접근해서 저 원투 사이를 해집을 건지 빨리 얘기를 해줘야 됩니다.
나 홀짝 해야죠.
나도 왔어.
나 홀짝 1대1 나도.
까빠놨어 5등.
이거
저기
하나 먹을게.
한번 살면서
좋아.
빨았다.
나이스. 봐줄게 병수. 빨렸다 저.
야 한번 막혔다. 끝만 봐봐.
빨리 이거.
앞에 화이팅. 끝등만 봐봐. 막아놨어. 나이스. 나 밀어놨거든. 나이스. 가봐. 가봐. 해볼게.
슈퍼 할게.
가봐.
끝만 하면 돼.
일만해. 먼저. 나이스. 일삼. 나이스. 용준이 형 잘했다. 고맙다. 나이스.
슈퍼 그렇게 안 좋다.
없다.
괜찮아. 천천히. 까빠놨어.
해보자.
나이스.
일 선수가 이럴 때 진짜 잘하거든요. 그러니까 오히려 지금 닐에겐 나쁘지 않아요.
바꿔봐 있어요.
그냥 갈고 가자.
할게.
봐봐. 나 유지 좀.
얘 많았다. 한 명. 조심해. 괜찮아?
나 1등만.
알았어요.
1대 해볼게. 앞에 2대2.
1등 아니야?
1-3 해도 돼. 1대 1-4. 1-4. 1-4 뭐.
집중해볼게.
알았어.
조심해.
받았어. 나 3등.
3등해. 나이스.
나이스.
와우. 뭐야?
있어.
이미 줄게.
김이 먼저 해.
먼저 할게.
두 개.
네, 챙겨. 물 버릴게, 용구나. 그렇고. 흔들리고. 이제 나한테.
이제 하나 더 있다.
김이 먼저.
나이스. 1등 실드.
물 쳐볼게, 용구나.
우리 3개.
낙탈.
내가
나 비타요.
풀어봐.
아, 미사일 맞을게.
먼저 해 지민이 형.
아, 미사일 쏘맞을게.
나 먼저 할게. 나 먼저.
오케이.
먼저 와봐.
한거 나도 있다요.
하나 버렸어 그냥.
버려버려.
살짝 챙겨야 돼, 잘 따라.
앞할게.
깨졌어. 다리 깔면.
이미부터. 지금
물 버릴게. 형이 한 번만 더 있다가. 네.
하나 빠진다.
용준이가 한 번 해.
챙겨.
자, 저는 안
나이스, 안
왔어.
아파.
내려갔다.
올라서.
우리가 더 세, 우리가 더 괜찮아.
올라서.
그렇다. 나
김이야.
나야. 하나 더 있어. 해제했어.
어떻게 빨리 바로 먹어 빨리 먹어 바로 끝까지 끝까지 미사일 왼쪽
오케이. 나이스.
이거 뭐야?
야, 동서 좋았다. 바로 쏘고.
나이스.
이거 뭐야?
까비.
괜찮아 아 까비 안 들려
안 들려? 안 들려.
말하지 마라 끝나고 주영이랑 같이 자기로 했거든
그래?
그래? 근데 지면 나랑 안 자는 거 아니야 주영이?
우리가 지면은 넉넉 재워주는 거고.
얘가 나 있는 거 놀릴 것 같은데?
완벽해야 되기 때문에 또 호준의 입술만큼이나 사운드는 완벽해야 되기 때문에
왜요? 뽀뽀했어 뭐 했다고? 뽀뽀 들어가줄까? 받았냐? 나 이제 뚫렸어
3인공 같은 트랙처럼 막아요.
야, 으랑니 잠깐만요. 이거 어떻게 되는 거죠?
1대3 드립을 계속 했는데 좋은 코드 섞이고 있죠.
팔이 나요 비슷해 기록 아 59.1이다 59.1이다 한 번 더 빨았어야 돼 그러니까
다리 버릴게.
팔이 있어
나이스야.
나나 썼어 나이스 와우 나 보라
나이스야.
진혁이 일단 챙겨 바로
먼저 해.
나 중간 줬대. 중간.
야 땡겨 빨렸어
형부터 형.
나 먼저 할게
야, 영훈이 형부터.
빨려줬어
빨렸어. 해제했어.
안 쓰지 말자 이거 가까운데? 템 챙긴
나 없잖아. 나. 해제 있어.
가져 번들
알았어.
나 돌아
몰아서 해.
실패야.
자 내가 상벌할 거야
한번 해.
지금 그래 이거 썼어
한 번. 하나 더.
그래 질러봐.
질렀어.
나야.
하나 더 있어
나이스. 나 파리.
다 맞아
와야 돼.
나 테러 맞았어. 테러.
와야 돼.
나 테러 맞았어.
깜깜.
기어가야 돼.
태민이 거 뛰어가
태명 기어가.
태민이 거 뛰어가 나이스
야, 나이스.
나이스 야 번개가 4개인가?
4개.
우리 4개야 이건 억가야
광산 스쳐 지나가요. 꼬불꼬불 다운힐. 쟤 뭐야?
해요. 자신 없으시면 저한테 넘겨주셔도 돼요.
자신은 생각 있어.
네네네. 광고래. 형 해. 일단 대기실에서 나오면 편하게 하면 되거든. 그냥 형 하고 싶은 대로 다 해. 알겠지?
양팀 모두 다 오늘 패배하면 진짜 현저히 가능성 낮아집니다.
흔들고 싶을 거예요.
갑자기 스탑할 수 있기 때문에 스칼렛이 차라리 앞쪽으로 가는 걸 선택을 했네요. 호주는 두 개의 부스터를 풀로 모아놓은 상태고 스칼렛은 상대적으로 굉장히 그냥 모이면 쓰고를 많이 했었죠. 진짜 영리한 플레이였습니다.
호주.
나 빨리 케이프 먹고 싶어.
야 나랑 지민 형만 못 먹었어 많이.
아 이거 내거 먹었던데?
난 아니야.
나도 아니야.
나는 가장염 하나랑 지금 오리지널 치킨 하나 먹었어.
공부 세번데? 뭐하냐고. 와.
화들짝 놀라는 거 봐.
야, 봤어? 아 잠깐만 이게 마이크 다 몸에 진동이 느껴지는데? 야너뭐 전기 충격기 맞았어 병자?
양서분이 안 해와서 조금 놀랐어.
테이저 건 맞은 거 같은데? 일어났어?
나이스. 잡아요. 이 서퍼. 네 보인다. 와봐. 선배 안만 봐.
아
들어왔어. 나 4등. 떨었다. 손에 넣었다. 유진 들어. 한 죽었다.
잡았어. 오케이
가봐.
꼬였어. 나 돌아가. 돌아왔어.
나.
그럼 잡아.
형 1등 봐볼래 그냥?
형 찍고. 나 밀렸다 한번.
나 지금 어떻게?
낫지? 아 스킬이야 우리.
이러면 그대로 닐과 병수가 들어옵니다.
나이스. 나이스. 가비. 제발 아이템 문이시여. 아이템의 신이시여.
팔이 들 거야. 마냥 깔게. 오케이 먹어. 공개 먹어.
햄미 저거. 나 2등 줄게. 자, 한 번 더. 빨리 타야 돼.
공개 하나다.
나 2등 못 한 번. 미사일.
나 딴말이. 오케이. 2등 팔이 좋아. 좀만 버텨줘. 좀만 올라갈게. 뒤에 한 사람
아 가는 쪽으로 한다 그럼.
백사이드. 네네네. 지금 하나 부를게.
세원 맞을게.
이거 마지막 오랜만에서 미들로 한 번만 할게.
왼발.
아.
나 물었어. 파리까지.
뒤로 한 번만
칠게. 오케이.
쌍쌍 하나 뺐다.
나이스.
카메라 사이드.
햄미.
버릴게. 나 이거 그러면 프랑스 오랜만에서 한 번 할게.
네.
들었어 쟤. 가. 떴다 이거.
나이스. 나 파리도 막아.
파리 따줄게. 이제 막상 봐야 돼.
막상 볼게.
또 나왔어요. 번개 5개째.
내가 할게.
햄미 맞았어.
한 번 할게 지금. 내가 또 할게.
나이스 봐봐.
맞아.
오케이.
공개 하나 더 왔어.
천천히 봐.
그럼 뭐?
혼자야 돼.
야.
와 번개 3개네. 야 번개 3개야.
뭐야 이거?
야,
캠 지렸다. 뭐야 이거?
야미.
나이스.
또 잘 챙겼다 준현이.
Hello and welcome back to the KDL. Thank you so much for waiting. We just finished our team matches for the day, and now it's time for us to move on to the round of 16 winners match, where we are going to be sending 4 of these racers directly to the grand finals.
Yeah, and even if you are in the bottom for today, you're not eliminated. You still get to play in the round of 16 losers match. So it's not like as we could say tough on these players.
It's not do or die.
They have a second chance, but it would still be nice to make it in that top 4 early on.
And here we have a breakdown of solo match and how we got here, basically. We are at the middle portion of this, the round of 16 winners match. Top 4 of this move on to the finals. The bottom 4, as Peter was just saying, will advance to the round of 16 final match for one last chance to get that top 8 and contest for that first place prize of 10 million Korean won. And I gotta say, the winners match here in the round of 16, absolutely stacked from top to bottom. We have the reigning champion, the reigning second place is going to look right here. I mean, JiMin, DDING, Cool, World, Luning, Hero, Spear, NEAL. It doesn't get really a lot better than this.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they're in the winner's match. On the other hand, for the loser's match, although it's a group of players who were in the bottom 4 last time, it's still really stacked.
Absolutely. I mean, Hojin stands out to me here, Hyunsu and Sungmin as well as Jung. Also very much standing out to me there in the loser's match as racers who potentially, if they advance to that final match, might make it all the way to the grand finals, right?
Yeah. And as we take a look at the best records of the track, a lot of our new records have been set by Luning and Hero from Aura. You can see a lot of players from Aura having their player profile up on the screen.
Yeah, Aura with a lot of track records, in fact. I think Luning might have had, what, 3 or 4 of them? So really impressive stuff by him.
Absolutely.
As basically everybody that's getting ready to be introduced here on stage is going to be gunning for those top 4 positions to make it all the way to the grand finals. Particular Cool and NEAL, first place and second place in the previous season, would love to repeat, is now wearing the yellow stripes. It is JiMin who says that he dreamed of advancing straight to the finals, so it has been foreseen. In his mind's eye, JiMin says that he is going to make it all the way there. We'll see if that holds true, as he has been so clutch. I mean, a hybrid player that excels not just in team speed, but also in speed right now in solos.
Yeah, I mean, Ding, he's saying he's going to be showing the original merit, kind of showing that he has been playing that character for a while, feeling a lot of pride in that department. And Ding, as a player, he has a lot of spotlight on him right now in KDL, and he deserves it.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about Jong as being the ace of rocks, but Ding has been so good there at the top ranks. Leading team speed average ranking overall so far in KDL preseason is Cool. The reigning champ, Guangdong Freaks. So good. Fantastic racer here. And the red stripes, I think one of the favorites easily to advance out of this group directly into the grand finals, as is this guy right here. I mean, World, his teammate, says he's going to be sure to make it to the finals. Would not be surprised, Peter.
Yeah, the only problem with World is that when it comes to the solo matches, he's been struggling with consistency. So a lot of the times, he'll fall into the bottom 4 ranks during the races more often than needed. So hopefully he's able to not have that problem today. But for Luning, he really wants to advance to that finals spot.
And he's first overall right now in podium percentage. In fact, 70.5%. And second overall in average points too, as Luning has just been so consistent from start to finish here in the KDL solo matches. He just racks up point after point after point. Never really seems like he's faltering in any of these groups.
May the blessing of the green guide me straight to the finals. It feels a bit poetic there, and I feel like Hero as a player definitely has the potential to make it there because he's so good at speed.
Absolutely. He's been a critical part of Team Aura's success so far in the team matches. A big part of why they're still contesting for a playoff spot right now, including his performance today in team speed. As we look at Spear, wondering how it would feel to make it straight to the finals.
It must feel good, dreamlike.
Absolutely, and you know, maybe he will be able to get a chance to figure that out, as this guy right here, no stranger to top performances, whether it be in the original kart rider or here in the KDL. Second place in the solo match previously. Of course, second place also in team matches on Lib Sandbox is NEAL. Stands alone among the global players of kart rider drift.
Yeah, NEAL putting a lot of emphasis on stability coming into the solo matches of Preseason 2, rather than going for a lot of the flashy NEAL builds that we've seen time and time again, because they do come with risks.
Absolutely do, but he has just been so solid, so consistent. Feels like every single time that we see him racing, he is up there gunning for top 4, top 5 at the minimum. As Peter, I think we're getting ready to get started in the round of 16 winners match. We're going to move to round number 1, WKC Brazil Circuit. Of course, here in the round of 16 winners, it is a race to 50 points. Each position that you get increases your odds, increases the total number of points that you get over the course of this. Once one of these racers reaches 50 points in total, the standings will be drawn. Top 4 moving on to the grand finals, bottom 4 falling to the final qualifying match for that grand finals. And So far right now, Peter, World and Luning off to a tremendous start here on the Brazilian circuit.
Absolutely. They are holding the biggest lead by far in the group, unrelentless with their lines. However, DDING, he's also been seeming to have a lot of boost gauge in his pocket, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see him catch up real soon. Right now, Hero trying to play the body game with World, going for the inner line, but he wasn't able to surpass.
No, not able to surpass, but still holding on to third place is a nice spot to be in, especially on a track like Brazil circuit where there is so much danger coming through these turns, especially with these tires on the grass where you might clip a wall, you might clip, one of your opposing racers and lose a lot of momentum.
Yeah, that's absolutely been happening here so far in the Brazil circuit, but Luning, he's running away right now with his lead. World falling behind due to all the players colliding with him so far. Now it's Cool gunning for that second spot.
Yeah, Cool right now firmly in second place. We'll see if he tries to pass Luning. Actually, nice body blocking there by Luning on the grass as he does not let World pass him until now. We just continuously change hands up here in the top two. It is so tight. I mean, I feel like every single time I look at the standings, these players are changing hands here. And lap number 2 is finally on this straightaway. It's starting to spread out a little bit. Luning right now in first place. World, Hero, and Cool right behind him. World going for that really tight inner, but Luning with a body block.
Yeah, Luning came directly into the line of World there, still maintaining that first place, but now World looking for a body block onto Luning, making him fall behind significantly. Now it's Hero, Cool, and JiMin in the lead.
Yeah, Cool's gunning for that first place spot. Luning falling all the way down into 7th place, and Cool and Hero will secure the top 2 positions. And I was worried there for Luning as once he got that nice body block off, he didn't really have anything left in the nitrous gauge. And then some unfortunate collisions for him in the final turn here on Brazil circuit has Luning losing a ton of momentum. And despite leading the pack for the majority of the race, it felt like falling all the way down into 7th place. But a podium, Cool in first, Hero in second, Spear in third.
I must say, Cool scares me when he's in solo match because he always finds a way to make it into that first place, and he even sets a new record here. For the most part, our eyes were on Luning and World, but at the end there, it's Cool and Hero who's able to flip it around. Luning actually coming in 7th.
Yeah, Cool just waited for the perfect time to strike, and I mean, this is why this guy is so successful here in solo matches. Also why he's successful in team matches. He's just all around a fantastic racer. Is now after winning track number 1, he will get to choose track number 2 as we're waiting to see what that selection will be. And, for the reigning champ, already getting closer and closer to another ticket to that grand finals as the selections coming through. We're getting ready to go to round number 2 here in the round of 16 winners match on Village Boom Hill Tunnel.
Off we go into round 2 of our round of 16 winners match. Now it's Spear and World and Cool in the lead. These players constantly being up there.
Cool, the lone racer to take the left side on this one, was able to build a lot of nitrous gauge. Unfortunately, I thought he was going to be able to work his way up into first place as a result of that, but instead right now sitting in 4th is once again very tight pack here. You can see how competitive this lobby is. No one really pulling ahead, and actually, Cooling. Not getting the best trades there. So if he wants to work his way back into first place, it's going to be a gauntlet for him. Instead, right now, all eyes on World, DDING, and Hero battling it out for the top 3, and Luning also right behind them, looking to redeem himself from an unfortunate track number 1. And wow, that inner line by Hero.
Yeah, Hero's building a significant lead for himself, but he takes a big collision into the wall. Fortunately, Hero, he's not thrown off 2 behind, but DDING, he's going to capitalize off that and now come in first.
Yeah, DDING now leading the charge here. Of course, first overall as well, as we have 3 players, DDING, JiMin, and World, going for the more dangerous build, getting up on that high ground, eliminating the amount of track they have to cover a little bit. Wow,
Hero.
Huge collision there. A lot of players losing a ton of momentum. Hero, World, and Spear all falling back. Cool also clipping the boxes there a little bit, as now it's DDING, NEAL, and JiMin. It's all going to come down to this. NEAL with 1 more nitrous. Will he be able to pass? He's trying to do it, but no, DDING a little bit too solid there. NEAL not able to get the draft and come through with the nitrous gauge as DDING picks up his first track win. That's 10 points in the bag of DDING, and NEAL, second place finisher from KDL Preseason 1 in solos, getting on the board with a really nice performance here in track number 2.
Yeah, NEAL, he was really pressuring Ding there for that first spot, but he was finishing second in the end. But it's really big for him because in the previous race, NEAL finished dead last. So he was -1 in the standings, but now he's picked up 7 points for himself. And now this is going to put him in the top 5.
Yeah, that's a solid performance. Only 1 point shy of the cutoff right now is Hero sitting at 7. NEAL at 6. Again, keep in mind, it is a race to 50 here. Once our first racer reaches 50 points, the standings are then locked. We look at the top 4, and those 4 players advance to the grand finals. The bottom 4 fall to one last final match, one last chance to qualify it. So, a lot on the line for everybody.
Yeah, but one good news for the players of this race who are not Cool is that Cool is not winning consecutively. So now we're ready to move on into Ding's choice of track. It is going to be Mine 3 shortcuts.
And off we go on Mine 3 shortcuts here as Spear off to a fantastic start, already in first place. Can be a difficult track to make passes happen, also a very precarious one. Would not be surprised if we saw some collisions here.
Yeah, right now it seems like NEAL and Ding kind of in the middle spot. Spear and JiMin are the ones really fighting right now for that top 1 spot. Luning, he's following close behind, and I'm sure he'll be able to catch up with these drifts.
Yeah, Luning's been looking so good despite having a poor performance at the very finish line of track number 1. He has been near the top 3, I feel like, every single track for the majority of each track. And once again, contesting these top 3 spots, but it's so tight between Spear, JiMin, and Luning. Luning, as of yet, unable to find an angle really to pass. He's going to go for a really wide one, and that will actually be able to allow him to pass JiMin. So the item specialist here, hybrid player, 4-Live Sandbox following down in 3rd place, and Spear just holding on to 1st.
Yeah, Spear, he's been absolutely keeping his eyes on that first spot the whole race, and now he finally has it in his pocket. We have NEAL coming up 4th, but he's going to be fighting it out with JiMin. These top 3 are really consolidated in a world of their own.
Yeah, there really hasn't been much upheaval so far on this track as no one's been able to make a play, but NEAL is going for one. Luning with a little bit of a body block there does deny the inner from NEAL, and once again, denies it. I mean, the body blocking is just superb from these top 3. There's a reason why they haven't been unseated from these positions.
Yeah, NEAL was finding some space to try to put some pressure on Luning, but now he's going to fall behind. He's just fighting it with JiMin. Now Spear still holding on to that first place really nicely. Ding, he's got to find the line that's able to surpass Spear.
Yeah, but he's not able to do it. And Spear, who from the very beginning was in first place, didn't give it up for a single moment. All the way through the end of lap number 3, Spear is going to beat your first place finisher here on track 3 as we're rounded out with Ding and Luning right behind him. But man, what a performance from Spear on one of the more difficult tracks that we have here in speed mode.
Yeah, and the great news for Ding is that coming in 2nd place off of last first place is putting him at 18 points. So he's already going to be really solid in maintaining that top 4 in the overall standings. And of course now Spear off that win, he's going to be in 2nd place.
Spear also beating Luning's record on that map. In fact, I think it was almost, what, 0.7 seconds ahead of the 2nd place finishing, who was the racer there? I can't recall, but whoever Spear beat, man, he beat him by a large margin. That was a fantastic race by him, as now he will get to choose the next track. As I'm curious what it's going to be. Spear, one of the most technically proficient and mechanically skilled racers that we have here in this lobby. Would not be surprised to see him choose one of the more difficult tracks. And yeah, there the selection comes in. We're going to be moving to Forest Zigzag Timberland for the next track as Spear looks to add on to this lead.
The current best record here is being held by Luning in Zigzag Timberland, but Luning is down in 8th place, so it's Ding and Cool and Spear trying to keep up their momentum.
Yeah, but I would not be surprised to see Luning quickly close the distance, as especially in solo speed, there are so many micro collisions that often happen here in the top ranks, especially in these very tight turns that can cause problems and can allow a player like Luning to actually close the gap. But once again, Spear on his track selection off to a great start. He has been getting the ball rolling these past couple of tracks.
Absolutely, Spear, he's winning the body check so far, actually tackling JiMin into the wall as well, then coming back into first place. He's been having some phenomenal lines here. Now Luning coming in, trying to apply some pressure.
Wow, Luning all the way from the back ranks, able to work his way into second place and building a ton of nitro gauge while he's at it, just right behind Spear and JiMin as he's going to try and find this inner line. Now, it is so tight packed here. Very dangerous situation for a lot of these racers, as you see a lot of small collisions in the back ranks happening as a result of this. It's just so congested.
Yep, right now JiMin is back in first spot. He was able to win the checks against Spear, and mostly it's right now Hero trying to catch up to the three, but Spear, JiMin, and Luning are in a world of their own.
Yeah, once again, I feel like these guys just continue to race, among the best of them. Every single track they are contesting top three, as JiMin is able to unseat his opponents their first place just for a moment, but we're just continuously changing hands, and now Hero with this inner line is trying to get past Luning. Will he be able to do it? As the body blocking from Luning has been superb so far today, but Hero with that tight inner, once again, able to do it.
Yeah, Hero right now leading the pack, but Spear comes in with a phenomenal line of his own, now trying to tackle Luning into the wall. As we see Spear, he's got the best position to try to block the opponent's lines.
Yeah, but I mean, there's just so many bodies behind him that it's kind of a game of attrition here. So Spear, he falls back down to third place and then is able to redeem himself, retake that first, and now Tim and Ding battling for rank 1 and rank 2, and Luning right behind him, man. It's so close here in the final lap.
All of a sudden, it's Ding in first place right now. Hero looking for the inners there. He's going to be able to collide and try to put Luning behind, but no, it's Ding trying to run away.
Disastrous collision there for Luning. Takes him out of contention here in the top race as Ding and Spear now head-to-head. Spear with a draft, not able to get enough speed to pass Ding, who even with a nitrous in the bag is able to finish in first place. Compounding that lead, man. He was in first place overall coming into this one at 18 points, and now adding 10 more to his total with that victory on Zigzag Timberland.
Ding is the only player right now of our group round of 16 winners match that has 2 wins already in the bag. So as you said, State, he's going to be at 28 points overall, which is getting really scary because he's now only 22 points away. It seems like Ding is playing the role of cool that we've seen in Preseason 1.
And poor Luning, I mean, this track here on Zigzag Timberland reminds me of how we started on the first track, where Luning, in that game too, I think it was on Brazil circuit if I'm not mistaken, was so close to finishing, if not first, then certainly in the top 3, and then one of those final turns had some bad collisions, fell all the way to the back ranks. I think he finished in 7th. And now here on Zigzag Timberlands, the same story. The whole time he's contesting top 3, and then once again a bad collision on the final bend. He falls all the way down to 8th place, so now Luning in a bit of a precarious spot overall in the standings, as although he's racing well, through the majority of these tracks, he has not been able to close.
Yeah, it's absolutely been tough on the players in the solo matches when your game has to be about consistency. You can't fall behind even if you get first place previously, but now we are moving on into round 5, chosen by Ding. It will be Mine Rickety Rails. Ding looking to get potentially his 3rd win of the day here in the solos. Right now we're seeing Spear. He's doing what he's always doing. In the beginning, he has a nice lead.
Yeah, it's almost phenomenal how consistently he's been able to come through in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd place at the start of every single track. I'm not exactly sure, what techs he's doing at the beginning to make these leads happen, but it just seems like every single race he is contesting, and right now up there with World, NEAL, and Spear.
Yep, right now Luning also trying to catch up as well. As you said, Stay, Luning, he's always gunning for the top spots, but tries to go for it too much near the end, falling down all the way into the back rankings. But right now, he's holding on.
Yeah, able to work his way into first place, in fact. So we'll see if he can hold on to that, as if he can just continue to be a little bit more consistent, especially towards the end. Wow, NEAL with a massive collision there. Was able to work his way into first place for a moment.
Oh, and NEAL once again is going to get crashed into the wall. He's flying off like a ping pong.
Yeah, just kind of ricocheting off the walls here as we enter the lap number 3. About 30 seconds left to go on this one. Hero now still in first place. Luning actually able to take that from him. So Luning's back in first. And man, I got to say, Luning overall today, the points, he only has 8 on the board. He's in bottom overall in the standings, but he has been one of the top racers.
JiMin!
Oh, JiMin with a bad collision there. Falls off the track, so he will be almost a lock for 8th place. But Luning, if he can just maintain this, 500 meters left to go. He has been struggling to finish so far today.
It's Hero and Spear right now trying to get that 1-2. Luning, he's denied that through the body blocks, and it's Hero who comes in first. And JiMin, as you can see off that collision, he wasn't able to recover, and he's going to come in dead last.
Yeah, dead last there for JiMin. So a little bit of a painful race for him, but I'm happy to see Luning get his fair share here. You know, it feels like every single race, especially the first one on the previous track, he was just racing out of his mind. Top 3 position, whole way through, and then right at the end, hit those speed bumps, you know, collide with a racer, or collide with a wall, lose momentum, but here he gets a podium finish. Some much needed points for Luning, who has been playing very well so far, and look at how close it is in this lobby. I mean, Ding and Spear kind of running away with it in positions 1 and 2, but separating Hero in 3rd and JiMin in 6th, only 6 points.
Yeah, JiMin, he was actually sitting in 3rd place overall before this track happened. So getting that 8th place really set him back, as you said, State, now being tied in that 6th place, which is basically 8th place right now in the standings. So our players are really fighting for that 3 and 4 spot.
Yeah, it's a very balanced lobby here. One of the most balanced lobbies that we've seen in the KDL solos is, we're going to see if that continues to hold up. Getting ready to move into the next track. It is going to be World Tour Rio de Janeiro. Here we come out of the airplane. Ding and Spear right now in 1st and 2nd place with 29 and 28 points apiece. All but, you know, well on their way.
Oh my,
to that postseason.
He takes a bad line there.
Ooh.
He takes a big collision, and he falls behind. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to recover from that. Our top 6 players are running away. You can see Cool. He's being showcased on the right. He's really far back.
Yeah, I mean, the picture-in-picture really tells the tale. He is far off from rejoining the group, but, you know, whenever we have lobbies like this that are so tightly skilled, we often have collisions that just slows down everybody, so maybe one of those will be the opportunity for Cool to close the distance and start to work his way up the ranks here. And, you know, for a lot of these racers, they're going to be feeling quite good that Spear and Ding aren't having quite as powerful a performance as they have so far. I mean, 29 and 28 points apiece. If anyone's going to be ending this race in a couple of tracks, it's going to be these guys, right? So for everybody right now sitting in the lower ranks, you want this one to go as long as you can. You really want Ding and Spear to fall back down.
Right now, it's Luning finally getting a nice opportunity for himself, fighting for that first spot with Hero and JiMin as Luning. He's keeping the tighter lines, but it's Ding who comes in first.
Yeah, once again, it seemed like Luning might have clipped the corner just a little bit there on that wall, and although it is a top 4 position, time feels like it's running out for Luning, with Ding securing another first place finish. I think his 3rd so far today, as he's at 39 points now in total. And guys, keep in mind again, 50 points is the decider here. 50 points is the cutoff where the standings are locked and we determine who advances to the grand finals and who will fall to the final match to try and qualify with one last chance for that top 4. And it is so close right now. Hero and JiMin at 20 points apiece. World right behind them at 19. Luning at 17. And NEAL 2nd place. Yeah, 2nd place from the previous season. 2nd to last. And Cool as well. All the way down in 8th. It's surprising. I mean, we have the top 2 from the previous season right now at the bottom of this lobby.
It's not what we expected coming into this state, but it's no surprise given how evenly matched our players were in the races. So far, only Ding and Spear being the clear standouts of the group. The fight for 3 and 4 drags on as we get ready to enter round number 7 in World Tour New York Rally. We are now here in round 7 of round of 16 winners match. World, he's trying to maintain that first place, but Ding, you got to keep in mind, he picked this track. We're likely expecting him to go for a race to the first spot.
Yeah, and for a lot of these racers, there might only be 2 tracks left because Ding right now is sitting at 39. With the way he's been racing so far today is so close to closing this one out. And for NEAL, a fan favorite of a lot of global fans and a lot of fans even here in Korea, and having a good performance in this track, right now sitting at 2nd place, would go a long way towards him booking his ticket to the grand finals.
In fact, he's going to turn that 2nd place into a 1st place. Now, he just needs to win the lines against Hero and Luning as the players. They're all coming up like a pack of hyenas, applying pressure onto the lines, trying to take whatever advantage they can, but Cool, once again, huge collision.
Yeah, Cool with back-to-back tracks, some big missteps there as he falls all the way down to the 8th place. Now all eyes on NEAL to try and hold on to this 1st place position here against both Hero and Luning, and it might just be a little bit too much body blocking, although he is able to section off both players quite well coming into one of these final turns.
Yeah, right now it's pretty much a game between JiMin, Luning, and
JiMin.
NEAL for that top 3, but JiMin right now won that battle. He's holding on to 1st place, and he just needs to keep the tighter lines here.
Yeah, NEAL falls all the way down in 5th place. He's going to go for that tight hitter to try to work his way back up, and he is in 4th now, but with time running out here on this track, only 500 meters left to go. Will NEAL actually be able to come in on the outside? He won't be able to get 1st place, but he will be able to get a top... Oh, he got top 5. I thought that was a top 3 for sure. JiMin gets 1st, Luning with 2nd, World with 3rd. As I didn't realize how close the pack was right there behind NEAL, I thought for sure on that straightaway he was going to be able to book a podium finish, but instead all the way falling down to 5th place. As we have a bit of a shakeup here, a lot of these high point earners from so far today not really manifesting a lot more. I mean, Spear in 6th place, Ding in 7th. That's going to be a sigh of relief coming out of a lot of these racers lower in the standings, because now that gives them a little bit more runway to start to close the distance.
As we see 3 players tied for 4th spot right now, Luning, Hero, and World.
Wow.
Absolutely not giving up on the slightest lead. But we do have NEAL and Cool. They are pretty far behind now, and it seems like it will be really difficult for them to try to make it top 4.
Yeah, Cool's had a shaky performance the past couple of tracks, and also NEAL. I mean, it's so hard to read this guy. He's usually so reserved with his facial expressions, but I think you can kind of feel that he's not performing up to the standard that he has for himself right now. I mean, this is a guy that has been world champion multiple times. I mean, he's won global events. He's won events in Korea. He would love to just book his ticket to the grand finals and not have to go through the final match yet again. As we head on to the next track, it's going to be Glacier Extreme Stadium. Off we go on the frosted slopes of Glacier Extreme Stadium. Hero and Luning off to a great start right now in this one. And all eyes on the mid-rank players.
Right now we're seeing NEAL all the way in the bottom. Once again with Cool, if they try to catch up here, it needs to start because they are really far behind points overall. Whereas Luning, Hero, and Ding, they're trying to build on their lead, especially Ding, who is leading the group so far.
Feels like Cool or NEAL, if they want to start to come back in this one, they're going to have to get at least a top 2 finish here and ideally win this track, because who knows how many races we have left here with so many players getting closer and closer to that 50-point mark. Now coming into the first hairpin turns here on lap number 1, Hero, Spear, and Luning leading the charge. Let's see if Spear tries to take a tight inner to unseat Hero from that first place position, and seems like he's trying to find it. Actually is able to get that first place spot here as Cool now is right behind him.
Yeah, Cool and Spear, they're able to bully Luning back along with Hero here. It's really important to keep your eyes on Luning, Hero, and World, because those 3 players are fighting for that 3 and 4 spot right now. But so far, it's Luning having the biggest lead.
Yeah, Luning right now is sitting in top 3. He's going to be really happy with this one. He's been racing so well today, except for a couple of hiccups, especially later on in the tracks. Now it's a 1v1 between Spear and Cool for now. For first place position. Spear, of course, 2nd place overall in points. So close to just securing that ticket to the grand finals. Another top 3 or podium finish here for Spear would all but assure that he's going to be heading out of this group in the top 4 is coming into these hairpin turns. Peter, let's see if Cool is able to maintain this lead now. Luning is also getting in on the fray. Is Cool able to hold on to it through every single turn? I mean, this might be his ticket back into contention here for the top 4 if he's able to hold it on this straightaway. And yes, Cool with a first place finish here, coming up from 11 points to 21. I mean, he was in 8th place starting this one. He's going to get closer and closer to top 4, and now with that victory, especially since he finally gets to choose his own track.
Yeah, Cool absolutely closes the gap right there. NEAL not as much because he couldn't get the podium finish, and you have to wonder at this point, with Luning coming in 3rd place, absolutely he's going to be up in the positions now. Pretty comfortable, I would say, in either 2 or 3. The 4th spot, however, how do you contest with Luning? He's in 29 points right now. Hero and World, they were trying to stay consistent with it, but they're now behind 4 points and 6.
Yeah, it's very close. I feel like Hero probably has the best chance of unseating Luning, only 4 points behind him right now. But keep in mind, Peter, this might be the final track of the day, the final track of this group, because we have 2 players that are in striking distance of absolutely closing this one out right now.
Yeah, this is going really crazy state. Cool, he's won 2 tracks, but he's not leading the group at all. You can see that consistency is really wearing down on our players today, but it's only getting harder and harder as we enter the 9th round of the day in Desert Ancient Aqueducts. We have Luning holding the best record here in the Ancient Aqueduct, and he's showing why by staying in 1st place.
He's off to a stellar start, one of the better starts we've seen so far here in this solo match, as that's a large distance between him, DDING, Cool, and World. And guys, keep in mind that DDING and Spear right now, if DDING gets even a top 2, he will have the 50 points necessary to close this one out and send us to the grand finals. Spear needing a 1st place to do that, but DDING really all eyes on him, sitting at 3rd place.
Yeah, DDING, he's really trying to catch up, but Cool going for that 2nd place is going to be huge as well, because Cool is really trying to catch up now. He's got his A game on. You can look at him being able to surpass Luning there. A player like Cool is one of the few who can pull that off.
Yeah, Cool. You can almost feel that he's a little bit angry here after that dismal performance on a couple of tracks. Now he's coming out swinging, you know, winning 1 track, coming through, trying to win another one right here is Cool, as after lap number 1, he is still in 1st place, and he's trying to work his way all the way back from rank 8 earlier in the standings. Now, 1 win here might get him in striking distance of a top 4. I mean, the reigning champ has so much fight left in him.
NEAL, he's coming in right now. Unfortunately, he loses the line against Cool and Luning. Now he's going to fall back. Once again, trying to come in for a top spot. 2nd place for NEAL, Cool in 1st place right now.
Yeah, DDING also dangerously close to closing this one out. Keep in mind, 2nd place for him will be the 7 points needed to reach 50 and send us home. He is so close right now in 3rd place as NEAL and Cool continue to go head-to-head in this 1v1. Cool in 1st place for now. DDING on the inner line, able to work his way into 2nd.
This is crazy. If DDING can maintain that 2nd place, that's exactly what he wants. But now we're seeing Cool once again applying pressure once again. DDING is going to fall back.
Yeah, DDING falls back into 4th place, and now it's between Cool and NEAL for 1st as we come into these final turns. 70 meters left to go, and Cool able to pick up another win here. DDING at 3rd, just shy of the 50 points needed to close this one out. So we will have at least 1 more track here, and Cool adding in 10 more points. Suddenly, Peter, he's gone from the crypt down in 8th place to being in contention for top 4 and booking his ticket to the grand finals, wanting a back-to-back championship.
The only way you can pull that off is to constantly get 1st place, and that's exactly what Cool is doing right now in the latter portion of the race. Exactly, just 1 point away from 4th spot now. Hero and Luning are feeling sweaty here. Even Luning in 3rd place is only 2 points away from Cool.
Yeah, even Luning is in danger right now. It's just been so close these past couple of races. Someone between Luning and Cool, I mean, you got to think that something's got to give here with how well these have both been playing throughout this entire day, as we're going to be heading to yet another track in one of the longest solo groups that we've had to 50 points. It feels like we're racing to 75 or to 100 with how diverse the set of winners has been, but this very well might be the last one. Desert Construction Chaos might tell the tale here for the winners match of the round of 16. Let's go to round 10. Off we go on what once again might be the final track of solo speed tonight. Ding in first place, sitting at 48 points. Only needs a middling position to get that top 50 and close this one out. And with so many racers right now hovering around 30 points, every position matters.
Yeah, if Ding gets 5th place or higher, he's going to be able to close off the race, whereas Spear, he needs to get 1st place to close it off. Right now we have World and NEAL in the top positions. Cool, he's down in 6th place.
Yeah, World desperately holding on that 1st place, fighting for dear life right now to try to hold on to this one, as 10 points in the bag would go so far for him. Sitting right now only at 7th place with 24 points. And if he can work his way up to 34, that might be barely enough for him to make it to the final match. As we're just continuing to race on here. Coming through the upper portion, World so far, as of yet uncontested, but Ding solidly in top 3.
Yeah, and I like that all the players slowed down there, putting a lot of respect on the chaotic part of this construction track. Now World, he's running off with that 1st place here. Ding, we were talking about if he finishes 5th or higher, this is the last track, and he's maintaining 2nd/3rd.
Yeah, it's so close right now, and Ding, I mean, he's just going to play his conservative game right here. I wouldn't be surprised if he took some extremely dangerous lines. I think he's just going to play for the top 4 or the top 5 and go with it, as he's continuing to, remain with the pack here, even contesting top 3 as he's right behind JiMin. Now World still uncontested there in 1st place, but this story, a lot of it comes down to where people stand in the middle rankings right now. Hero in 5th place, Luning in 6th, Cool in 7th. These are positions that have bearing on who is going to book their ticket first to the grand final.
Yeah, Hero, Luning, Cool are kind of like our main characters right now in the sense of wanting to be in that top 4, but all of them are so far behind. It's Ding, who's able to stay consistent, but now he's going to fall behind into 5th place.
He's actually all the way down to the 7th there for a moment as he fights his way back into 5th, and keep in mind, if he doesn't get that top 5, we will go to at least one more track unless Spear is able to win it, but it looks like World and NEAL are going to be having their little 1v1 here. Actually, NEAL and JiMin, it's a 1v1 for position 2 as World runs away with this one in 1st place. But Ding finishing in 4th means that this will be the final track. And I got to say, normally, I'm pretty good at doing the calculations on the fly and telling who's going to advance, but it is so close right now, Peter. I mean, coming into this, Luning at 33, Hero at 32, Cool at 31, JiMin at 29. So close. I don't know who's going to advance. I think we have to wait and see the standings.
Yeah, I'm trying to calculate that right now.
I see you right now. You got your little abacus out. You're doing all the quick maths. As World sets another record here. And okay, here we go. Wow. By 1 point, World and JiMin pulling ahead of Hero by 2 points against Luning, 1 point against Cool, and 3 points against NEAL, or 4 points against NEAL, excuse me. So close, but Ding, Spear, World, and JiMin are going to be your top 4 advancing to the grand finals first.
It would have been so crazy if Hero had 1 more point there, because we would have had 3 players tied for 3, 4, 5.
That would have been absolutely insane. I mean, this was one of the most stacked lobbies we've ever had in a round of 16, and you could really see it. The difference between qualifying in top 4 and getting knocked out from 3rd to 8th place. 34 points for World and JiMin, 30 points for NEAL. It was so close. Every race mattered. This one went the distance, and it absolutely delivered on the hype. And Peter, I gotta say, if this is a preview of what the solo match finals are gonna be like this KDL Preseason 2, I cannot wait. I mean, this was intense from start to finish. One of the most hyped solo matches that we have had here in the KDL. So exciting.
And our 2 solo finalists from Preseason 1, Cool and NEAL, they're gonna finish 7th and 8th, last in the group. No one could have expected that coming into this, but don't be worried, guys. Our bottom 4 players are not knocked out just yet. They still have another chance in the round of 16 losers match.
Absolutely. So I think tomorrow, the way the schedule is going to go is we have the losers match, and the top 4 of the losers match tomorrow will advance to the final match to battle with Hero, Luning, Cool, and NEAL. And that group will decide, much like this one, which 4 players are going to the grand finals, and which 4 players are out of the tournament.
Right, so we do have a separate losers match that's going to determine the top 4. They're going to fight with the bottom 4 of the winners match. That's how the format is going to go. And you have to give so much credit to DDING, because I feel like DDING hasn't shined as much in the original Kart Rider League, but ever since he came over to Kart Rider Drift, especially in the solos, he's been able to finish first more often than not.
Not even in the solos, also in the team. Keep in mind that DDING is the #1 ranked player in team speed by average rank. He's also first place, 52 points to 40 points here, and the round of 16 winner match. DDING has been racing out of his mind this season. He's a critical reason why Rox Esports is undefeated to this point so far with a 5-0 record. He has been so good. And, you know, coming into this one, just to talk about Rox, I mean, we were all thinking that Jung is going to be the story for them, but DDING, this new addition, has stepped up so hard. You see it in the team matches week after week, match after match. You see it here in the solos, absolutely delivering. Oh, man, the solo match finals are going to be so hype.
Yeah, and I also want to give a shout out to Spear here, because I feel like we all remember Spear as a sweeper, not only because of his name, but because of his playstyle, where he's often sacrificing his own line in order to put more trouble for his opponents. But when it comes to the solos, he just focused on his own path, and you can see him really shine when he does that.
It's been a fantastic day of KDL so far, Peter. Absolute treat to cast this one with you, as we're going to recap the day really quickly and look at exactly how these matches played out over the course of this Saturday, with Seraphic picking up their first not only speed win or win overall in the KDL, but their first round wins in speed, as for a rookie team that has been showing a lot of potential from the very beginning of KDL Preseason 2, this is kind of a feel-good story. You gotta be happy about Seraphic coming through. This means that every single team competing here in the KDL Preseason 2 in the round-robin format will at least pick up one win. And although it's a little painful here for ShowTime, I mean, Seraphic, you could see the happiness on their face when they finally came through with that W.
Yeah, Seraphic definitely ended off on a high here. It's not their last match exactly, but at least they have one win in their bag now. And then for our next match of the day, it was Potential versus Aura. And when we saw the speed match happen, it felt like Aura was just going to win everything. They were 3-0 in speed. And then going into item as well, Aura won that first track, but then Potential was able to find the comeback and bring us to an ace match.
Yes, they were up 3-0 in speed, and then in item mode, they were even up 2-1, so they had 2 chances to close it out, but it went to an ace match. Aura, with their victory, able to keep their tournament hopes alive here as we look at the standings. Songnam Rocks, Live Sandbox, Kwangdong Freaks, all but assuredly heading to the postseason right now. My eyes really on Sensation and Aura for that final 4th spot. Sensation right now, round differential, keep in mind, that is a tie-breaking factor. So with +6 points on that side, Aura really going to be feeling the pressure the next few matches.
Yeah, and this is the results locked in for our solo match of round of 16 winners. It's JiMin, DDING, World Spear moving on once again. And of course, you will still be able to see your players, Cool, Luning, Hero, and NEAL, participate in the round of 16 final match.
And that losers match, of course, those top 4 will advance to play against those racers that were defeated today in the solos, just as you said. So should be very exciting. A lot of legends also. I mean, Jung in KDL Preseason 1 just absolutely making, you know, a storybook finish for Rox Esports, winning ace match after ace match. I can't wait to see him tomorrow in the round of 16 losers, as we have some headliner performances too. Sensation versus the Kwangdong Freaks, 3rd place versus 4th place, and Songnam Rocks versus Live Sandbox, 1st place versus 2nd place. This is, in my opinion, basically a preview of what the postseason is going to be. So tomorrow, you absolutely do not want to miss this match. You know, Sunday, 6 p.m. KST, tune in. We got legends playing in the solos, and the best teams this season playing in the team matches.
Yeah, if Sensation wins this one, they're going to feel pretty good about maintaining their spot into the postseason. They need to pull it off against a giant like Kwangdong Freaks, which is tough. And Songnam Rocks, they're keeping up a undefeated streak right now. Live Sandbox trying to take that down. And then finally, we're going to end it off with the round of 16 losers match featuring many players that we've seen have so much success in solo match that you wonder why they're even in the losers match.
Yeah, but I mean, as we saw from the round of 16 winners, it is just absolutely so stacked. As even compared to KDL Preseason 1, the talent pool feels so deep here in KDL Season 2. Everyone just keeps getting better. It is so much fun to watch. And guys, thank you for joining us. We hope you had as much fun as we did on this day of the KDL. We'll be back again tomorrow, 6 p.m. KST. See you then.